Douluo, summons from the two-dimensional world. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 126 Seed Sprouting. Not long after Yihan returned to Anil City, Jin Ringsu also came back and left with her men. She left without making any trouble and left very peacefully. Zio-han, you really look like a villain. Yi complained. Yihan said helplessly, how can I be a villain? Isn't what I said the truth? It was indeed Bibi Dong who sent Jin Daoliu. Once Jin Daoliu died, the worship hall really fell into Bibi Dong's hands. When did Jin Daoliu ask you to take care of Jin Ringsu? Ben Tiaofen came up with a godlike finishing blow. Yihan coughed, isn't this playing an emotional card? And if the spirit hall is really destroyed, do you know how annoying it will be? Now Anil City alone is annoying enough. If the spirit hall is not destroyed at that time, I will send you to manage it. Ben Tiaofeng was scared when he heard this. No, I want to stay at home and play games. I will never go out. Now I am tired of managing a pharmacy union. What about you? Yihan looked at the women who criticized him. But at this moment, they all turned their heads and said they didn't want to pay attention to Yihan. Yihan could only express his helplessness. The most diligent person among these people is Dongtang. Can you believe it? Kwang San is indifferent all day long. Ben Zhou is like a home girl. Leah is obsessed with her city defense army. Esdeath is a group of training troops, and Yi is even more so. As the head of the criminal army, she only goes there 2 days out of 7 days a week. It's a joke to want these people to help manage. No matter how you look at it, you must find someone to help manage the spirit hall. Yihan didn't think about Zhaolei, but he was afraid that Zhaolei would lead the style of the entire spirit hall astray. And think about it. Under the leadership of Zhaolei, the spirit hall will definitely perish within 100 years. On the other side, Jin Ringsu sent her men away after leaving the city, removed her disguise, and went directly to the spirit city. The whole person walked into the spirit hall without any scruples, and no one dared to stop him along the way. Bibi Dong looked at Jin Ringsu, who was obviously stunned, and then said unhappily, why are you back? What about Zhu King? Do you want our Wuhan Hall's plan to fail? If it was Jin Ringsu who wanted to gain Bibi Dong's motherly love, she would definitely obey Bibi Dong's words, but Yihan's words kept appearing in Jin Ringsu's mind. Even though she kept telling herself that this was not true, she just couldn't convince herself. Did you send Grandpa to the Dimension Academy? Jin Ringsu said coldly. Bibi Dong could clearly sense that Jin Ringsu was different, and did not hide it. That's right. Jin Ringsu's face darkened, and she took a deep breath. Then do you know that there is a beast god named Dion in the Dimension Academy, whose strength is similar to that of Grandpa? Of course I know. What do you want to ask? Bibi Dong was a little impatient. Go back to the Xiandao Empire as soon as possible, and don't do such stupid things again. Jin Ringsu looked at Bibi Dong deeply, turned around. Grandpa is dead. I will go to the worship hall and then go back. The whole hall was so quiet that even the breathing could be heard. What Bibi Dong wanted to ask, Jin Ringsu had already left. Gui Mei and Yu Guan on the side swallowed their saliva. The situation at this moment was like the calm before the storm. Moreover, since the Dimension Academy could kill the extreme Douluo, what else did they play with in the Wuhan Hall? Jin Ringsu had already got her answer. Although she didn't dare to believe it, she had to believe it now after being brainwashed by Yihan. Since Bibi Dong dared to do this to Jin Daoliu, Jin Ringsu would not let her off easily. The simplest way was to destroy the result of Bibi Dong's plan. The first person Jin Ringsu saw when she came to the worship hall was Jin Daoluo. Girl, you're back. It's been a long time. Because of Jin Daoliu, Jin Ringsu was the treasure of the worship hall. In addition, Jin Ringsu's amazing talent made everyone love her. Seeing someone familiar, Jin Ringsu's expression softened a little. Grandpa is dead. I will leave in a while. From now on, the second elder of the worship hall will be in charge and will not provide help to Bibi Dong. In addition, if Bibi Dong comes to you, remember to tell me. Jin Yi's face changed, and the whole person was a little unbelievable. The great worshipper is an extreme Douluo. How is it possible? Nothing is impossible. I will solve Grandpa's revenge myself, and I'll trouble the second elder to keep a close eye on Bibi Dong. Jin Yi is not a fool. Jin Ringsu is so vigilant against Bibi Dong, which naturally means that Jin Daoliu's death is related to Bibi Dong. In the main hall of the spirit hall, Bibi Dong's face had never looked so bad before. Her spirit power was a little unstable. People in the main hall didn't dare to breathe. "Yugwen, gimme, do you think I was wrong?" Bibi Dong said coldly. The two people who were named trembled, and didn't know how to answer for a while. Finally, under Bibi Dong's extremely stressful eyes, Gimri could only say under pressure, "Of course not, Your Holiness the Pope, although the great elder Jin Daoliu died, this is also a good time to agree to the spirit." Yugwen on the side also understood Gimri's meaning, and hurriedly said, "That's right, the worship hall has always been outside the spirit hall. This time, it just happened to take advantage of the hatred of the great worshipper and agreed in one fell swoop." Bibi Dong's eyes flashed. She naturally thought of this, but losing an extreme Douluo for no reason was really not a good thing. "Go down." As Bibi Dong finished speaking, Yugwen and Gimri breathed a sigh of relief at the same time and left one after another. After all, it was too terrifying before. When Jinriksu just returned to Xiandao Imperial City, she received a letter from Jin Douluo. The words written on it were simple, but they hurt Jinriksu's heart. Bibi Dong used Jinriksu's name to seize the worship hall. It was a simple sentence, but it confirmed what Yuhan said. Jinriksu didn't know how to face Bibi Dong for a while. She was a little annoyed and destroyed the letter, and turned back into Zhu King. Bibi Dong on the other side didn't expect that the worship hall, which was originally within her reach, would always be in trouble. No matter how Bibi Dong spoke, Jin Douluo only had one sentence: everything would be decided when young Master Jinriksu came back. As long as Jinriksu was not there, no matter how much Bibi Dong said, Jin would not listen, which made Bibi Dong very angry. The final result was naturally an unhappy parting, but this incident also made Jin Douluo doubt and fear Bibi Dong. If Jinriksu hadn't said it in advance, Jin Daoliu would have died. Bibi Dong would have used Jinriksu's name, and Jin Yi would never have stopped it. After all, Bibi Dong was still Jinriksu's mother. Compared with the cranky Jinriksu and the furious Bibi Dong, Yihan was not too comfortable. No, it can't be said to be comfortable, but because there are many things that don't require him to do, but at this moment Yihan is arranging the entrance examination. Prepare to leave a strong and colorful mark on the enrollment in a few days. Ziohan, I think you should add my plan. It will definitely screen out the elites. Esdeath looked at Yihan, who was arranging the venue, seriously. Esdeath, the students of the Four Elements Academy will graduate soon, you can go there to see. Yihan could only divert his attention. It's not that Yihan doesn't take other people's advice. It's that Esdeath's suggestion is too cruel. 10 people form a group, and the only one who survives in the middle successfully enrolls. Listen to this enrollment method. It's simply cruel. Yihan did not deny that in a sense, this could indeed recruit elites, but he was recruiting students, not dead soldiers. When the time came, Yihan dared to say that if the entrance examination was set up like this, 90% of the people would be immediately dissuaded. Chapter 127 Entrance Examination. In the Xingdao Great Forest, there are several simple enrollment points 50 kilometers away from Enel City. At this moment, a huge crowd of people gathered. The hot weather did not make these people irritable, but even more excited. The Dimension Academy has finally opened. I took my Bayor to line up here last night, but I didn't expect to be so far away. Alice who said it wasn't. I heard that some people in front of me came when the enrollment news was preheated. They slept in the open for a long time to get to the front. Yihan actually didn't expect it to be so popular. Several registration points have been opened, but they are still crowded. However, Yihan has no time to care about the enrollment situation at this moment. In the hall at this moment, Ning Fengzi, Ning Rongrong, the great elder and Bone Daoluo Gurong from the Seven Treasures Glazed sect are sitting, and on the other side is Zhu King, who just left. What Yihan didn't expect the most was that the Xingluo Empire also sent a prince. Davis brought Dai Li here, not to cause trouble, but to send Dai Li to Yihan for disposal. This matter has to start from the auction house. The royal representative of the Xingluo Empire was so angry when he returned. He went there with full confidence, but because Dai Li was courting death, he could only watch the medicine being handed over to others. So after he returned to the Xingluo Empire, he had a good talk with the emperor about Dai Li's problem, and then Dai Li was here. In fact, the emperor was hesitant at first, but it was a pity that it was clearly written on the brochure that pharmacy. These 3 words were Dai Li's death warrant. Dai Li, who was brought here, was also full of MMP at this moment. He originally thought that he had escaped the fratricide when he was a child, but he didn't expect that at this age, he seemed to be in trouble again. Brother Yi Han, since you said it last time, our Xingluo Empire has learned from the pain and thinks that you are right, so we brought Dai Li here, and he is handed over to you. You can do whatever you want with him. Davis said righteously. Yi Han was also confused at the moment. According to his idea, it would take some time to solve Dai Li, but he didn't expect that the Xingluo Empire would deliver it to the door. Yi Han had no sympathy for Dai Li, who had tried to assassinate him. There were so many organizations at that time, but none of them took action. I wonder what Dai Li was thinking every day. Friend Yi Han, thank you for the upgrade potion. My 7 treasures glazed tower has now evolved into the 8 treasures glazed tower. Ning Fengzi bowed respectfully to thank him. This upgrade potion is really the lifeblood of the 7 treasures glazed sect. After all, this is not a natural treasure, it is artificially made. As long as the production method can be obtained, the 7 treasures glazed sect can directly change its name to the 8 treasures glazed sect. Yi Han had thought of this possibility a long time ago. He was selling the upgrade potion to make money. Master Ning, you are too serious. You spent 200 million gold soul coins to buy the upgrade potion. This is what you deserve. Everyone, come with me to the Dimension Academy. There are special instruments that can monitor the progress of this entrance examination. I think you should have sent people to participate. Yi Han knew the purpose of these people coming here very well, and he did not stop them. If they wanted to really learn something, they had to pass the loyalty test. The group followed and walked into the hall prepared by the Dimension Academy. A virtual screen appeared in the air. The place reflected was empty at the moment. This was set up by the martial soul of Benjo Feng's game system. Tang San's black history was also based on this. This is just another use. There are many people in the hall at this moment. Xingluo Empire, Xiandao Empire, Kibaoliuli Sect, and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family in Annal City, 3 single attribute clans, all arranged their own disciples to take the exam. Yi Han treated everyone equally. The only preferential treatment was that they did not have to queue up outside to register. Soon a number of people was finally registered, and Yi Han also received the message, Yi, you are responsible for the first level. After all, it is a large-scale screening. Your Xingjin still has an advantage in speed. You are really evil. These children, I guess a lot of them will be eliminated. Yi casually took out a mask and put it on his face, and the whole person disappeared on the spot. Ahem, quiet. With the sound of Yi's soul power spreading, the originally noisy crowd suddenly quieted down. Very good, the registration is closed now. Now we will start the first round of the exam. All parents please go to Annal City, where the results of the first round of the exam will be available. Parents who succeed can leave directly. As long as they complete the first round, even if they are not admitted to the Dimension Academy, they will enter the 4 Elements Academy. Those who fail the first round will be directly eliminated. Yi's words immediately caused an uproar among the people around him, but they were more excited. In the eyes of these parents, it would be best to be admitted to the Dimension Academy, but if they can't, the 4 Elements Academy is also good. You know, they may not even have the chance to enter the 4 Elements Academy at the beginning. Little bastard, you must complete the first round for me. Do you hear me? Our family depends on you. Come on, son, try your best to pass the first round. Such cheers came one after another, and Yi did not stop them. After waiting for a while, Yi asked the parents to leave again, and these parents left reluctantly. After everyone finished walking, Yi said indifferently, the rules of the first level, run straight ahead from here, and the distance of 50 kilometers is Annal City. The earlier you arrive, the greater the advantage you will have in the subsequent exams. During the running period, you can use your martial soul at will, but you are not allowed to use special potions, elixirs, soul guides, use the food and water in the soul guides, and attack the people around you. Once discovered, you will be eliminated directly. Yi explained the rules very carefully. Seeing that no one asked questions, Yi did not delay. Start. He said and disappeared. The people who took the entrance examination were stunned, and then when the first one started running, they quickly followed. After all, no one wanted to fall behind. The 50-kilometer journey may not be a big deal for a soul sect, but it is still difficult for these little brats who are not even 10 years old. Some may have the first soul ring, and some may not even have a soul ring. Yuhan does not restrict this. Everyone is less than 10 years old. Others have soul rings, which can only prove that you are not talented enough and were not born well. These are not reasons. Sometimes birth and luck are part of strength. As time went by, the team began to polarize. Those who were not good at running had already slowed down, while those who were in better physical condition were still insisting on running at a constant speed. Look, that's my eldest grandson. Judging from his posture, he has been in the first echelon. Maybe he can win the first place. Ning Chengshan, the great elder of the 7 treasures Glazed tile sect, said with great surprise, and there was also a lot of boasting in it. Tisk, didn't you see that the little guy from our Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family is also in it? Yu Yuanzhan said disdainfully. As the 10-kilometer journey ended, the whole situation had become very clear. At this moment, there were no more people in the first echelon than at the beginning. The only people left were Ning Guanji, the grandson of Ning Chengshan, the great elder of the 7 treasures Glazed tile sect, Yu Paon of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, Bai Yuxi of the Min clan, Yang Chengsheng of the Po clan, Min Wenchang sent by the Xiandao Empire, Dai Fisheng of the Xingluo Empire, and 2 civilians who did not belong to the family, Zhao Yusheng and Sun Zhu. Yihan was not surprised at all about the children of these big families. After all, the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, the Po Yi clan and the Min Yi clan, 2 of which are strong attack type and 1 of which is a quick attack type, both need physical strength. Since the Xingluo Empire and the Xiandao Empire have come, the people they choose will naturally not be too bad. As a supporting type soul master, the Kibaoliuli sect does not need others, but must save their lives. They have been trained to run away since childhood, and now they are also using it. As for the Yu Yi clan, one of the 3 clans, there are naturally people participating, but the Yu Yi clan is good at defense. Although they have good physical strength, their speed is really not good, and they have been following the second echelon. Niao, this little bastard, doesn't know how to run faster, and has been slow all the time. I don't know if he thinks that our Yu Yi clan is not good. Nia Gao looked at Niao on the screen very unhappy. Bai He and Yang Wudi on the side said proudly, Old Rhino, Niao has worked very hard, but the speed is not fast enough. When the others are out of energy, they will naturally catch up. Although the 2 were comforting, Niu Gao felt that the 2 were showing off. Humph. Old white bird, old goat, don't be so proud. It's 50 kilometers. What's wrong with running fast? Don't run halfway and can't run anymore. As soon as Nia Gao spoke, the 2 smiled happily. Several people were playing and fighting inside, and even Yu Yuanzhan joined in. In fact, Yu Yuanzhan was still quite reserved at the beginning, but during this period of time, Yu Yuanzhan felt very comfortable in Anil City. There was no need to worry about the survival of the family, just live a quiet life. Compared with the ease of these people, Ning Fengzi looked at Yuhan. He always felt that things would not be so simple. If it was really so simple, the number of people entering Anil City would increase dramatically. Chapter 128 Vigilance. As time passed, the students taking the exam gradually entered the 20-kilometer dividing line. After arriving here, everyone was exhausted, or even exhausted. Some of them took out food and water from their soul guides or from their bodies, and were caught by the criminal army as soon as they made a move. Yihan would not be kind to such people. Sometimes, wrong is wrong. Time gradually came to noon, which was also the hottest time of the day. The speed of the group had slowed down to an incredible speed, and soon they reached the halfway point of 25 kilometers. On the originally boring road, several pavilions appeared, some of which had tea placed in them, and the sign next to them even said designated rest areas. As soon as these words appeared, the thirsty students ran to the so-called rest area at a high speed without thinking twice. Sister Yuxi, let's take a rest too. At this moment, Niueo's endurance had reached the first echelon because of the deceleration in front. Seeing the resting place, Niueo could not bear it, but looking at Bai Yuxi and Yang Chengshen, who were also from one of the 4 clans, he was embarrassed to go directly. Yang Chengsheng also looked at Bai Yuxi, the oldest among them, and said with some attention, Yes, Sister Yuxi, these people have gone to drink the water, there is no problem. Bai Yuxi hesitated slightly, looking at the large number of students gathered. For some reason, her martial spirit kept warning him, and finally resisted the temptation. No, if you want to go, go. I will rest here for a while and leave. This. The two hesitated for a while, looked at each other, gritted their teeth and sat down next to Yuxi. Sister Yuxi doesn't go, we don't go either. That's right, it's better not to drink, so that you won't get thirsty the more you drink. Niueo still looked at the resting area with some desire, and then turned his head quickly and firmly and said. The actions of the three people were like a beautiful landscape. Everyone saw the three mavericks. Some people mocked, some were puzzled, but now they had no energy to say anything. Ningguanji and Yu Paoan on the other side didn't have such determination and went to drink water without hesitation. The two people from the Xiandao Empire and the Xingluo Empire did the same. It was the two civilians in the first echelon who held back, or rather, Sun Tzu who held back. Hello, my name is Zhao Yushin. I'm not from a big family, aren't you going to drink water? Sun Tzu glanced at the shy Zhao Yushin and shook her head. Sun Tzu, I don't know why I just feel I shouldn't go. Zhao Yushin was stunned when he heard this, looked at Sun Tzu, then looked at the rest area, and finally sat next to Sun Tzu. I'll accompany you. Even if you go now, you probably won't be able to drink water. Sun Tzu glanced at Zhao Yushin, and didn't answer, but closed her eyes and began to rest. Yihan in the hall saw clearly that many people went to drink water, but some vigilant people chose to rest on the spot and didn't even go to the rest area. Seeing this scene, Yihan's mouth curled up slightly. You know, this is the first point of deduction along the way. Ning Fengzi carefully watched the content on the screen. Ning Rongrong on the other side looked at Yihan with a smirk and suddenly understood. Yihan, are you doing something bad? There is something wrong with this rest area. Ning Rongrong's voice was not concealed. Others looked at Yihan, hoping to get an answer. Yihan did not shy away and nodded. I give each student a score. Everyone starts with 10 points. As long as you drink water and rest in this pavilion, I will deduct 2 points. If you only rest without drinking water, I will only deduct 1 point. As soon as this sentence came out, the originally complacent elder Ning Chengshan's face changed, and the rest of the people were also shocked. I don't know what Yihan means. Ning Fengzi asked with interest. Vigilance has always been one of the important principles of Soul Masters. I never told you that there would be a tea and rest area at the beginning. If they walked over there so boldly, they would be wiped out if they were really enemies. And the more extreme they are, the more you can see a person's will and thinking ability. Obviously, most people think this is natural, so I put something in the rest area and tea, and they will consume more energy when running next. This is a punishment for them, and also a reward for those who are determined. Yihan's words were undoubtedly a blow to everyone present. No one refuted Yihan, because what Yihan said was exactly the way of survival for Soul Masters. At this time, the people who could only spy on themselves were not strong enough. Ha ha ha. Niueo is a good kid. His willpower is so firm. He didn't lose face for a Yu clan. Nia Gao pointed at Niueo on the side and boasted crazily. Yu Yuanzhan was the most jealous one. The four of them boasted together, but only Yu Paoan was fooled. Who can stand this? Don't flatter your family. If it weren't for Yuxi's little girl stopping him, look at your Niueo, he would have rushed in right away. Yu Yuanzhan said unhappily. Bai on the side smiled without saying anything, looking at Yuxi with satisfaction. He originally just wanted to find a little genius to go in, but he didn't expect it to be a treasure girl. He estimated that if it was Bai Chengxiang, he would have rushed in to grab the water now, but since Yuxi didn't fall for it at this moment, it was just right for him to pretend perfectly. You old boy is just jealous. Even if Niueo wanted to go, didn't he go? What a pity. Someone will deduct 2 points. I don't know if there will be any deductions later. Nia Gao often took Yu Yuanzhan with him when drinking during this period. They got familiar with each other, so naturally he was not weak. However, as soon as this sentence came out, the faces of other people turned black. After all, except for the people of the three clans and some civilians, all the others were tricked. Let's go. Yuxi stood up slowly. He was still very moved by his friend's trust, but the two of them kept swallowing their saliva, which was really embarrassing. It is better to ignore it and set off again. Niueo and Yang Chengsheng had been looking at the plums to quench their thirst for a while, but they could not hold it anymore. They quickly followed Yuxi and decided not to think about it anymore. Maybe after leaving here, things would be much better. Seeing the three people leave, Sun Tzu stood up quickly. Let's go. After saying that, she ignored Zhao Yushin on the side and quickly followed the three people. Zhao Yushin looked confused. and then stood up quickly. Wait for me. Sun Tzu. The departure of several people naturally aroused the vigilance of the people in the rest area. They remembered what Yi said, and the ranking of this exam would affect the next exam. In desperation, they could only start to move forward and reluctantly leave this comfortable rest area. A large number of people started to move, and Bayuxi and others still started to move forward at a slow speed, but gradually distanced themselves from most people. The most confused were Ning Guanji, Yu Paoan, Min Wenchang and Dai Fixin. The four of them were originally in the first echelon. After resting for a while, they found that they could not catch up at all. Even some people who were originally in the second echelon had caught up. Looking at the people behind him, they were no different from the beginning. Why were they not as fast as the five who didn't rest after resting? I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I could only grit my teeth and speed up, which made the physical consumption more intuitive. In the hall, except for Zhu King who looked calm, Yu Yuanzhen, Ning Chengshan and Davis were so anxious. After all, the people I chose were all exhausted. The 50-kilometer road, even with the support of soul power, has been running until dark. At this moment, Bayuxi and others are no longer running, but walking. The five people are still in the first echelon, with chapped lips and no strength in their bodies. Sister Yuxi, look, the front is the finish line. Niueo looked at the old man in front and shouted excitedly, but because of the long-term lack of water, his voice was a little dry. The five people looked at each other, gritted their teeth and rushed to the so-called key point. Congratulations to the five of you, you have successfully passed the first level. Take a rest and eat something. The old man said very harmoniously. Niueo was so excited that he was about to take something out of the soul guide, but was held down by Bayuxi, who stared at the smiling old man in front of him. Sister Yuxi, what's wrong? Niueo's dry voice was a little confused. Bayuxi couldn't tell. Her martial soul was not the sharp-tailed swift familiar to the Min family, but a mutated martial soul of the sharp-tailed swift. The name of the martial soul was very strange, called Mingxiang Swift. After testing, it was found that it was no different from the sharp-tailed swift. He didn't care at the time. After all, as long as it wasn't a bad mutation, it would be fine. But Bayuxi knew that this mutated martial soul seemed to give her a warning. Once there was a problem, it would give her a warning. She didn't understand it when she was a child, but she became aware of it when she grew up. In the rest area before, the old man here, the martial soul all gave warnings, so she was thinking about what went wrong. Let's continue to ride and move forward. Don't worry about this old man. Bayuxi took a deep breath. No matter if she was right or not, she believed in her martial soul. Niueo and Yang Chengsheng looked at each other, gritted their teeth and followed. Sun Tzu, who originally thought it was over, also became cautious after Bayuxi's actions. After a little hesitation, he quickly left the place. Zhao Yushin thought about it and quickly followed. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129. The first level ends. Nia Gao, who was watching the screen in the hall, felt a little strange when he saw the five people running forward. Why are they running again? Haven't we reached the finish line yet? I know. That finish line is fake. Ningrongrong suddenly realized something and looked at Johan excitedly. Is that right? That's right, the real finish line is at a corner 50 meters away from this place. Because it's a corner, you can't see it at all unless you run past it. Johan said with a smile. Ning Fengzi didn't really care whether Ning Guanji could enter or not. He was very interested in Johan's examination mode. He felt that his 7 treasures glazed tile sect could also follow suit. Why this time? First of all, it's the vigilance of never changing, and the other is judgment and decisiveness. When you are exhausted, it is cruel to deny a success that is within reach, so most people will choose to believe it. At this time, you have to rely on judgment to judge whether the things in front of you are true or false. After successfully judging, decisiveness becomes very important. Indecisiveness will never achieve great things. It takes courage to deny yourself and continue to move forward in such a situation where you have run out of ammunition and food. The teachers here are to lure students to take out food and water, but they will not be eliminated here, but will be deducted 1 point. After saying this, the great elder Ning Chengshen's hand trembled, and Yu Yuan's Han and Davis also looked at Yuhan in disbelief. In their opinion, this is really too cruel. Just based on the fact that Yu Pao and others did not hesitate to enter the rest area before, it is estimated that they will not hesitate to fall into the trap now. Ning Fengzi on the side thought for a while, then said respectfully, "I've learned your lesson. This time, Rongrong should also join in. Even if some students fail in this exam, it will be a crucial lesson in their lives." Gu Rong also nodded slightly. Although Yuhan's personality was not pleasing to him, this exam was obviously carefully prepared. Sure enough, after Bai Yuxi and the other 5 had left for a while, Ning Guanji and the others finally arrived at the fake end. After the old man spoke, a large group of people sat on the ground, took out food and water from their soul guides or backpacks, and ate them in big mouthfuls. The great elder Ning Chengshen and others, who had originally had a glimmer of hope, now really wanted to run out and slap these people in the face. Don't you know how to think about it? You just know how to eat. Have you never eaten in your life? In short, at this moment, except for Zhu King who kept looking at Yuhan with a heavy heart, the faces of the others were all livid. On the other side, Bai Yuxi and the other 5 slowly moved forward and soon entered a place where Yang Chenfu, the director of the admissions office, had been waiting for them for a long time. "You 5 little guys, come here." Yang Chenfu's words made the 5 people startled. Niu Ao and Yang Chengsheng looked at Bai Yuxi, while Zhao Yushan looked at Sun Zhu. Yang Chenfu nodded with satisfaction. "I gave you a badge before the game. Take it out now. This is the final finish line. First of all, congratulations on successfully completing the 50-kilometer long-distance run. Secondly, according to the information of the criminal army, you did not drink water and rest in the rest area, and did not take out food and water at the fake finish line in front, so there was no deduction of points. Now you have 10 points, I will put it on your badges. In addition, the hotel in front is your temporary resting place." No matter how stupid Yang Chengsheng and Niu Ao were, they could hear that there was something wrong with the rest area and the fake finish line. They were a little scared. Fortunately, I believed Sister Yuxi, otherwise I would be beaten to death by the old man when I go back. Yes, yes. It was really thrilling. Zhao Yushan and Sun Zhu on the side were also somewhat fortunate. They were civilians, and joining a good academy was their only way out. Otherwise, who would help them find their spirit rings in the future? If they find it by themselves, most of them would be 10-year spirit rings. Bai Yuxi listened quietly, and found that his martial soul had not moved. He nodded and handed over the badge. Yang Chengsheng and Niu Ao also quickly handed over the badge. Because you all got full marks, the rankings are based on the order of arrival. Bai Yuxi is first, Niu Ao is second, Yang Chengsheng is third, Sun Zhu is fourth, and Zhao Yushan is fifth. Is that okay? Yang Chenfu asked calmly. The 5 people shook their heads. Yang Chenfu quickly recorded the scores into the badge and ignored them. At this moment, the large group has gradually reached a fake end point. Some of those who have not arrived have either given up halfway or have been eliminated because of poor physical fitness. At this moment, everyone is eating to restore their physical strength. Ning Guanji, who arrived first, finally felt something was wrong. "Yu Paoan, we have been here for so long, why is this teacher not making any movement?" Ning Guanji asked hesitantly in a low voice. Yu Paoan was a little indifferent. Maybe he's waiting for someone. We should wait until everyone arrives first. Min Wencheng and Dai Fisheng on the side also came over. After all, they were the second group to arrive together. Not good. Min Wencheng's face changed, and he quickly stood up and looked at the old man. He immediately understood something in his heart and ran forward directly past the old man. Everyone who saw this was confused. The old man did not stop him and slowly took out the tea on the table and took a sip. Yu Paoan and others also reacted and quickly rushed to Min Wencheng who was running in front. Logically, if this is the end point, then Bai Yuxi and the others should be there too, but there is nothing here, so the place in front must be fake, deliberately delaying their time. Such a serious problem, they realized it belatedly, and it was also because of the special medicine in the rest area before that they were too tired and had no room for thinking. After resting for a while, they found that something was wrong. Finally, the 6th place was won by Min Wencheng who was discovered first, the 7th was Yu Paoan, the 8th was Ning Guanji, the 9th was Dai Fisheng, and the 10th was a strong man who did not rest in the rest area. He did not look like a 10-year-old child at all, but he was honest and simple along the way, and only lost 1 point at the last fake finish line. The top 10 are all here. Because Shilei scored 9 points, he became the 6th place, and the others will be postponed 1 place. Yang Chenfu said calmly. Min Wenchang went from 6th to 7th, and for a moment he asked unconvincedly, why did I get there first? Yang Chenfu glanced lazily at the few people who were unconvinced. Drinking water and resting in the rest area will deduct 2 points. Eating your own food in front will deduct 1 point. You are 7 points. Shilei is 9 points, so he is 6th. The scores are the same. They are ranked according to the ranking, and the scores are different. They are ranked according to the higher score. Don't ask why, you will know tomorrow. That's the rest area. Min Wencheng, who wanted to ask something, was blocked by a sentence, and left unwillingly, glaring at Shilei before leaving. Shilei smiled honestly, and he was also very surprised that he would be 6th. His talent is not outstanding, he can only rely on his willpower and keep persisting. The main reason why he didn't go to the rest area was because Yi didn't say it. To put it bluntly, it means not using your brain and not knowing how to think, but sometimes fools have foolish luck, and Yi Han understood from the beginning that luck is also a kind of strength. In addition, after Yu Paoan and his companions left, the others found something wrong. Some hesitated and stayed where they were, while others continued to move forward. Soon, according to Yi Han's request, only the first 500 people were accepted, and all the others were considered eliminated. There are too many things that can change in 50 meters. From not finding the false endpoint to everyone stopping at the false endpoint, in fact, everyone's starting point is the same. The rest depends on willpower, judgment, decisiveness and explosiveness. Some people who were originally in the second echelon did not enter the top 500 because of a moment of hesitation, and some who were obviously the last ones succeeded in entering because of their decisiveness. The students who successfully entered the top 500 were ecstatic, especially some who were originally the last ones were so happy that they burst into tears. This is a complete counterattack. Most of the people at the end were civilians. They were originally desperate, but they didn't expect the surprise to come so suddenly. Those who didn't enter were more regretful. Many opportunities were placed in front of them, and they really couldn't blame others for not grasping them. Chapter 130 The Special Little One. Although Min Wenchang and others were holding back their anger that night, they had to say that the hotel prepared by Yi Han was very comfortable with delicious food and drinks. The next morning, without Yi calling them, everyone went to the previous gathering point to gather. Oh? It seems that you are very self-conscious. Yi said with a smile. Instructor, I want to ask why my ranking was postponed. Seeing the person in charge of Yang Chenfu, Min Wenchang couldn't wait to ask. Many people who were inexplicably surpassed also looked at Yi in confusion. Yi stopped laughing when he heard this. He snapped his fingers, and Bai Chengxiang suddenly appeared beside Yi with a mask. Such a terrifying speed shocked these students. See, I will also join the criminal army of Master Yi in the future. Bai Yuxi was so excited for the first time in the past few days. Ever since Yi went to the Minai clan to select the criminal army, he was inexplicably admired. Bai Yuxi was one of them. She hoped that she could join the criminal army as soon as possible and become Yi's subordinate. Bai Chengxiang's cold voice came out slowly. Min Wencheng, the person who asked the question, rested in the rest area for 16 minutes and 42 seconds, drank 6 cups of prepared tea, deducted 2 points, false finish line, took out food and water, deducted 1 point, above, a total of 3 points. Did you hear that, idiots? Did I say there was a rest area on the route you were running? If this was an enemy trap, you would have been killed without a complete body, and you still call yourself a genius. It's ridiculous. Yi's voice was full of sarcasm. For these young and energetic boys and girls, it was simply a murder and a heartbreaking blow, but they also understood the truth of what Yi said, and they couldn't find words to refute for a while. Seeing the dull atmosphere, Yi also completed Yi Han's task. The second level of the exam below is not my responsibility. You wait where you are. After the words fell, Yi and Bai Chengxiang had disappeared. Just like when they came, these students couldn't see anything. Just wait for a while. Leah slowly walked over with her city defense army. Unlike the weirdness of the criminal army, the city defense army gives people a feeling of spring breeze and comfort, especially the leader Leah, who exudes a special personality charm. Who is this? This temperament is amazing. I thought every examiner was as scary as the last one. Ning Guanji whispered in Yu Pao's ear. Yu Pao looked at Leo with burning eyes. The leader of our Anil City's city defense army, Altria, is not only kind-hearted, but also very powerful. City defense army. Ning Guanji looked at Yu Pao with a puzzled look. After all, he was not from Anil City and was quite curious. Yes, the weird people before were the criminal army under Shifengin Yi, and the city defense army under Sister Altria was responsible for the protection of the city. Yu Pao introduced excitedly. Ning Guanji was lucky. The Xingluo Empire and the Xiandao Empire kept this information firmly in mind. At first, Yi Han had no intention of giving the job of the city defense army to Leia. After all, Leia was King Arthur before, and it would be too shabby to give her a job as a city defense army. As a result, Leia strongly requested to become a city defense army, saying that she must protect her Camelot this time. Yi Han had no choice but to give it to Leia. However, facts have proved that Leia has conquered many people to become her subordinates with her absolute personal charm, and under Leia's governance, the people of the entire city are more enthusiastic about the city defense army, rather than afraid of it. First of all, congratulations to everyone for successfully enrolling. Whether it is the Dimension Academy or the Four Elements Academy, you have enrolled, so next we have to screen the people who enter the Dimension Academy. Everyone, follow me. Leia took everyone to a prepared square and looked at the surrounding buildings curiously. Leia stood in front of these people. The requirements for the second level are very simple. Those who can survive my pressure without fainting can enter the last level. Do you need to prepare? The people in Anil City were immediately as if they were facing a great enemy. They had come into contact with Leia's aura before, but those who were not from Anil City, such as Ning Guanji, looked at Yu Pao with some doubts. What's wrong? What are you afraid of? This beautiful sister doesn't look like the kind of person who kills people without hesitation. In Ning Guanji's mind, only the murderous aura of killing people without hesitation was the most terrifying. Yu Pao reminded them seriously, you'd better be prepared, otherwise you will be eliminated in an instant. Okay, then start now. Leia looked at the little guy in front of her and felt as if he was facing a great enemy. She did not delay anymore. Her martial spirit was summoned, and a pressure from the king spread out instantly. In just a moment, 500 people destroyed more than 100 people. Ning Guanji, who was not very concerned at first, took a breath of cold air. Just now, he almost lost his balance and fell to the ground. Fortunately, he quickly stabilized his mind and it was not a big deal. Leia let these little guys adapt for a while, and the Wind King barrier on the Holy Sword disappeared, and a more powerful aura than before burst out. Some people who were caught off guard could only activate their martial spirits to resist. Even so, the number of people began to decrease sharply, and only about 40 people were left. Third soul skill, the heart of the red dragon. A huge red dragon suddenly appeared behind Leia. The aura from the dragon was mixed with the pressure of the king, like the last straw that broke the camel's back. The remaining 40 people were reduced to 8 people in an instant. Ning Guanji was pressed to the ground with white eyes at this moment, and it was announced that he had completely lost the opportunity to enter the Dimension Academy. The remaining 8 people were the one who got full marks, Yu Pao from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, the silly Shilei, and a very low-key guy. Under such a huge pressure, Zhao Yusheng and Sun Tzu, as civilians, felt the most. The whole person was shaking constantly. Several times Sun Tzu wanted to fall down, but was grabbed by Zhao Yusheng. This also made Sun Tzu look at the shy boy along the way. On the other side, the Bayuxi trio was relatively better. Especially Bayuxi, she had felt different pressures when she was selected for the criminal army. At this moment, she could still hold on by gritting her teeth, and by the way, she could also stabilize Yang Chengsheng and Niueo. As for Yu Pao, he could hardly protect himself, let alone help Ning Guanji beside him. On the other hand, Shilei seemed to feel no pressure and was still grinning. The most interesting thing was the last girl, who was wrapped in a black robe. Her legs kept shaking, and her eyes were full of fear, but I don't know what kind of will kept her standing there. Seeing this, Yihan spoke from the group. Yihan, Leia is done, let them go and rest, prepare for the final exam in the afternoon. You give me the information of the last little guy. In the hall, Ning Chengshen angrily slapped his hands on the chair. What a waste, it seems that I treat him too well, even ordinary people can't compare, what a waste. Davis on the side also had a sullen face. I don't know why I always feel that Ning Changshan is not scolding Ning Guanji alone, and even Dai Fisheng was not spared. Yu Yuanzhan secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Hey. This time, Po Wen finally made me proud. This kid named Shilei is not simple. Ning Fengzi looked at Shilei on the screen curiously. Yuhan smiled. Lei just radiated her own pressure, and did not use any soul power to oppress them. The reason why she fainted was because her mind was not firm enough. And this Shilei is obviously the kind of stupid one. This is a natural advantage. After a while, Yi sent the information Yuhan needed in the group. Yi, this little girl is called Guo. She wears a black robe because she probably doesn't want others to see her face. The left side is burned and the right side has traces of being cut by a knife. I don't know who did it. It's pretty tragic. Yuhan pondered for a moment after reading the news, then shook his head. Why think too much? You'll know when you see this little girl. Chapter 131 The Evil Spirit Master reappears. The process of the second level was very simple and fast. All the students took a break for a while. Except for the 8 people who stood at the beginning, the others were taken away by the teachers of the Four Elements Academy. Ning Changshan did not stop his grandson from entering the Four Elements Academy. One reason was that he would have the opportunity to enter the Dimension Academy in the future, and the other was that his main purpose was pharmacy. People from the Four Elements Academy can also study pharmacy, but it is a pity that they cannot enter the Dimension Academy. The 8 people who successfully stood at the end were taken to the Dimension Academy by Leah. Along the way, they were amazed again and again, because to enter the Dimension Academy, they had to pass through the house built by Yuhan himself. There were no restrictions on other places except the Dimension Academy. The reason why they did not come was that they were restricted by the patriarch of the family, and Yuhan and others were also happy to be free. Wow! Sister Yuxi, the Dimension Academy is so big. Is our third level here? Niueo danced with excitement. Yuhan did not advocate the idea of instilling faith in cults, but the children of these families were brainwashed by their patriarchs, saying that they must enter the Dimension Academy. Bai Yuxi was also very excited. Entering here means that he is one step closer to joining the criminal army. Compared with these family children, the 3 civilians are very reserved. A shy child like Zhao Yashan is cautious even when looking at the surrounding buildings. Although Sun Tzu is okay, she also lowers her head with a sense of inferiority. As for Guo, it can be said that she has never raised her head. Soon the 8 people were taken to the training ground in the Dimension Academy. Yuhan and others had been waiting for a long time. In addition to Yuhan and others, there are many people who join in the fun. For example, Ning Fengzi, Zuking, and Davis, who are still refusing to leave even though the results have been announced, and the 2 brothers Yu Xiangxin and Yu Xiangxin, as well as Yu Shai and Hang's teammates Du Guyan and Yu Lingling are also on the list. At the beginning, Yuhan promised Yu Yuanzhan that he could let Yu Shai and Hang and Yu Xiangxin enter the Dimension Academy to study, but Yu Shai and Hang's operation made Yuhan confused. He directly brought all 7 people from the Xiandao Royal Academy team here. What else can Yuhan say? I can only say that it was a great job. In fact, Yu Shai and Hang just asked at the beginning, but he didn't expect Yu Lingling and others to agree without considering it. Suddenly surrounded by so many people, it would be a lie to say that he was not nervous. Old man. Niueo looked at Niagao and shook his hand excitedly. Good boy, come on, don't embarrass our family. Niagao also gave appropriate encouragement. Yuhan had no choice but to stand up casually and said with a smile, who I am, I believe you also know. The next is the 3rd level. It's very simple. You choose one person from the 7 of us to fight. As soon as these words came out, everyone looked at Yuhan. Yu Shai and Hang said without giving face, what are you talking about? I can't beat you, and you let them fight you. Yes. Xiaohun, isn't it too cruel? If you go up, these little guys have no chance of winning at all. Yu Xiangxin also asked worriedly. Yuhan said speechlessly, we are not asking them to win, we are just collecting their battle data to see how good their qualities are. Why are you so excited? And little guys, don't worry about anything. Some of you have been professionally trained, and some rely on instinct. Anyway, choose one and try it out. Yuhan's words made everyone feel relieved. If they really wanted to win Yuhan and others, why fight? Just announce that the Dimension Academy has not recruited anyone this year. Okay, who goes first? Yuhan explained clearly, and then looked at the reserved little guys. Me, I'll go first. Bayuxi took a deep breath and stood out excitedly. I choose Senior Yi Yi. My dream is to join the criminal army. I hope you can teach me. Yi looked at Bayuxi with interest and walked out slowly. Since your goal is to join the criminal army, you should know the principles of the criminal army. Come and attack me and try. Yes. Bayuxi's martial spirit quickly possessed him, and the whole person quickly rushed towards Yi. This speed seemed very fast to people of the same age, but it was still a bit slow for Yi. He casually waved his hand to block the incoming fist, and then tried to grab the collar of Bayuxi's clothes. However, Bayuxi took a step back quickly, making Yi's action fail. Yi looked at Bayuxi in surprise. Is it the martial spirit or intuition? Yi would not choose to guess, and asked directly. Bayuxi panted slightly. You know, just now, she was almost killed in an instant. If it weren't for the warning from her martial spirit, she would definitely not last a round. It was the martial spirit that warned me, Senior Yi. Yi nodded. Okay, you have passed. If you are willing, after the course of the Dimension Academy is over, you can come to the Shifengin family behind to find me. As long as I have time, I can teach you. Bayuxi originally thought that her performance was very poor, but as Yi finished speaking, the whole person was happy. I am willing, I am very willing, Senior Yi. Bayuxi's success undoubtedly brought endless encouragement to everyone. Not only did she get the recognition of her idol, but she also received the guidance of her idol. This operation made the next people feel endless hope and began to challenge the people they were familiar with and admired. However, compared with the people in Anil City, the 4 civilians were somewhat helpless. After all, they didn't know anyone and didn't know who to challenge. I will challenge this senior. Shilei looked around and remembered what his mother said, that he couldn't fight with girls. There was only one man here, Dongtang, so he naturally chose Dongtang. Yuhan? Question mark? Hello, senior, my name is Shilei, and my martial spirit is something like a rock. Maybe I'm a little stupid, so please give me more advice. Shilei smiled honestly. Dongtang gave a thumbs up. Brother Shilei, don't panic, don't be restrained here, and ask a question. Do you like? Bang. Yuhan slapped Dongtang on the head. The game begins. Shilei rushed up when he heard the battle started. It was a very simple battle without any fighting skills. Facing Dongtang's attack, he also covered a rock defense. It was just his keen fighting sense that impressed everyone. Although Shilei looked silly, he could always attack and defend at the most critical point. Soon Zhao Yusheng and Sun Tzu also finished their exams, leaving only the little guy who Yuhan was very curious about. Little guy, your choice is you. Yuhan asked gently. Can I choose you? A hoarse, sharp, and even unpleasant voice came from the black robe. Yuhan frowned. This voice was definitely not natural, as if it was retreating and destroying. Of course, I am also one of the 7 people. Come on. Yuhan was still very gentle and had no prejudice against Guaryuo's voice. Guaryuo rushed towards Yuhan without any skills and kicked Yuhan, but there was no power at all. After a failed strike, a dagger appeared in Guaryuo's hand and stabbed Yuhan's eyes directly. Slightly retreating to avoid the attack, Guaryuo's right leg kicked directly at Yuhan's crotch. At first glance, these skills are all dirty tricks, but Yuhan knows that sometimes this is a life-saving skill. Or for those who have not learned any skills, this is the simplest way to defeat the enemy. With one step, Guaryuo dodged the kick. His entire center of gravity was unstable and he fell to the ground. His black robe fell off, and Yuhan finally saw Guaryuo's face clearly. The left side of his face was burned beyond recognition, and the right side had a mark carved with a knife. Even his left eye was very lifeless, and it was obvious that his eyesight was very poor. Not to mention Yuhan. Everyone around him gasped. Guaryuo hurriedly picked up the robe on the ground and tried to put it on in a panic. However, the more anxious he was, the harder it was to get things done. Yuhan sighed helplessly, picked up the robe and put it on Guaryuo. Come with me. Yuhan took Guaryuo's hand and led her to a room. Can you tell me about your story? Guaryuo trembled. I hope to join the Dimension Academy. Or the 4 Elements Academy is also fine. Yuhan touched Guaryuo's head and said gently, you have already joined the Dimension Academy. I can feel that you are very scared. I want to know your injuries and what you are afraid of. Guaryuo seemed to recall something. Her body trembled wildly. She grabbed Yuhan's clothes and refused to let go. Yuhan did not urge her, waiting for Guaryuo to calm down. Evil Soul Master. Guoruo only said these 3 words. Although Yihan had expected it, he still couldn't help but get angry when it was really an Evil Soul Master. It has been nearly 10 years since Yihan last contacted the word Evil Soul Master, but Yihan still remembers the dream silkworm. Go and rest for a while. I will help you with your injuries. Don't worry about it when you get to Anal City. Have a good sleep. Yihan gently took Guoruo to the dormitory. Chapter 132. There is a road to heaven but you don't take it, there is no door to hell but you break in. As Yihan walked out of Guoruo's room, everyone gathered around. Anyone who is not blind knew that the injuries on Guoruo's body were man-made, and it was horrifying that a child who is only less than 10 years old could suffer such serious injuries. Evil Soul Master. When Yihan finished speaking, everyone's pupils shrank. The most hated profession in the entire Soul Master world should be the Evil Soul Master. A group of self-righteous lunatics, feeling that what they did must be right, acting recklessly, doing whatever they want, and disregarding secular rules to achieve their goals. Bang! The soul power of Yu Xianheng and Yu Xiangcun kept fluctuating. They rebelled. Where are they? I will hang them on the city wall to die in the sun. The young people present could not hide their anger, and their murderous intent was not concealed. Although the older generation did not say anything, the cold light in their eyes was enough to show their inner unrest. Wait a minute, Guoruo's emotions are not very stable. If I had pressed her just now, I was afraid that she would collapse. Let her rest first. Yihan did not press her because he noticed that something was wrong with Guoruo. It's better if I don't catch these people. Leah looked very ugly. Okay. Xia Fen, these are some of the injuries on Guoruo's body that I saw. See if you can fix them. As for the other injuries, she is a girl after all. Wait until she has rested, then you can check them. The originally heated examination was now very quiet as everyone sat in the hall. Master Ning, the examination is over. Aren't you leaving? Yihan looked at the guests who had no intention of leaving and asked in confusion. Among them, you said that Zhu King was unwilling to leave, so Yihan was a little prepared. What the hell was this Ning Fengzi? Davis not leaving? Ning Fengzi's eyes were cold. Evil Soul Masters should all die. Our 7 treasures glazed tile sect can lend you a hand. Ning Fengzi at this moment was not as gentle as before. You should know that Ning Fengzi would not show it even if he was angry before. It seems that the entire Soul Master world seems to be very repulsive to Evil Soul Masters. Awake. Awake. Ning Rongrong ran in from outside the door. Guoruo is awake. Ben Xiaofeng is taking care of her. Yihan also stood up after hearing that, and took the lead to walk towards Guoruo's room. At this moment, Guoruo was curled up on the bed, and no matter how gently Ben Xiaofeng treated her, she was indifferent. When she saw Yihan, Guoruo hurriedly ran behind Yihan. Yihan rubbed Guoruo's little head with some heartache. You guys go out first. Guoruo and I have a chat? Seeing that there were only 2 people left in the room, Guoruo carefully walked out from behind Yihan. Although I may make you recall bad things next, you should know that there are more than just you in the Evil Soul Master organization. We can effectively stop them if we find them. Yihan tried to make his tone gentle. Guoruo shuddered, his face looked a little ferocious, then nodded. Ask. Hearing this strange voice, Yihan poured a glass of water and placed it in front of Guoruo. Before talking about this, let me tell you, the little sister who took care of you before, her name is Ben Xiaofeng, she can heal your injuries. I promise there will be no Evil Soul Masters in Anal City, you can try to trust others. Guoruo looked at Yihan's serious face and nodded obediently. Seeing this, Yihan smiled, and then asked seriously, good boy, then I want to know the specific location of the Evil Soul Master organization you mentioned, do you know it? There is no specific location. They took us through various cities like the caravan. If the test subjects died, they were thrown away. If there were no test subjects, they were caught in the city. Yihan had never thought of such a situation. It was the most difficult to find without any trace. Which city did you escape from? Yihan asked immediately. Yihan had made up his mind. If Guoruo didn't know, or couldn't find the person, Yihan would find a treasure from the king's treasure to wipe them out. Maple Leaf City. There is an uncle who said it is called Maple Leaf City, and he told me that the Dimension Academy is recruiting students. I heard your story in that storytelling hall. He said that the captain named Yihan was undefeated by the 10 titled Dalus of the Spirit Hall, and finally left safely. The Spirit Hall suffered heavy losses. You are so strong, I will definitely not be caught when I come in. I stole money from several kind people on the way to pay the registration fee. In addition, if possible, I hope to delay the tuition fee. Guaryuo said it easily, and Yuhan would not be stupid enough to believe it. We will talk about the tuition fee later. I will help you with your affairs. You rest first, and I will let that sister come to treat you in a while. You have to be good. Yuhan looked at Guaryuo and nodded, then walked out of the room. As soon as he walked out of the room, he saw everyone standing at the door. Yu Shai and Heng couldn't help but run over. How is it? Did you find out? Wait a minute, where's Maple Leaf City? Yuhan asked seriously. Maple Leaf City is not far from your Anal City, it can be said to be very close. Although Zhu King is a fake prince, for the sake of acting, he is just like the real one. He knows the distribution of cities in the Xiandao Empire very well. Yi Han's eyes flickered. Are there any other cities nearby that are very close to Maple Leaf City? The closest one is your Anal City. Do you mean that the evil soul master is in Maple Leaf City? Zhu King asked with a cold look in his eyes. The soul power on Yi Han's body kept fluctuating, causing the younger generation such as Ning Rongrong to step back subconsciously. Yi Han, who was originally very angry, showed a ferocious smile. You really don't take the road to heaven, but you break into hell. Lydia, block Anal City from today. Only entry is allowed, and exit is not allowed. At 1 o'clock in the night, some people will go to Maple Leaf City to find the routes of all the caravans or caravan-shaped teams there. Esdeath, start to check the caravans or caravan-shaped teams in the entire Anal City. If there are any problems, they can be directly detained. It is better to kill 1,000 by mistake than to let one go. Yi Han was really angry at the moment. He had just assured Guaryuo that the people in Anal City were all good people, but if it weren't for Guaryuo, he wouldn't even know that the evil soul master had sneaked in. Xiao Han, do you mean that the evil soul master is in our city? Leah asked seriously. That's right. According to Guaryuo, they are in the form of a caravan constantly traveling around the continent. She fled to Maple Leaf City, so the evil soul master is most likely to come to us. After hearing what Yuhan said, Leah left directly. I know. During this period of time, I will not let a living thing leave the city. Yuhan could see that Leah was really angry. Anal City was like another Camelot. Leah had always carefully guarded the Pure Land in her heart. Now that such a vicious person appeared in the Pure Land, Leah would definitely not tolerate it. All clans, families, and those who have reached the Soul Emperor and above and have nothing to do, spread out and spread all over Anal City. I don't believe they can still run away like this. Yi Han was now determined to let these people die in the wilderness. Xiao Feng, you go in later. Guaryuo should be much better, at least she won't reject you. Dong Tang, go to the city wall. If someone flies out, stop them. Tang San, please go to Maple Leaf City. Ask Yi for the list of people whose money was stolen by Guaryuo, and help her pay the money back. I'm going to go out and see if I can find the evil soul master. Yuhan arranged everyone and was about to leave. Brother Yi, I'll go with you. As a prince of the Xiandao Empire, I can't let the evil soul master do whatever he wants in front of me, and I hate evil soul masters. Zhu King said very sincerely. Yuhan glanced at Zhu King, then let's go together. I want to go too. Ning Rongrong ran over and said. Yu Shai and Heng and Yu Xiangsan on the side also ran over. We too. You are too weak, wait for news here. Yuhan said and ignored these people and left directly. Zhu King saluted in a friendly manner and quickly followed. What? It's so great to have high soul power. It's so great to be powerful. Ning Rongrong looked at Yuhan who was leaving angrily. No, if you don't take me with you, I will go by myself. Seeing Ning Rongrong leaving with Yu Xiangsan and Yu Xianheng in a huff, Ning Fengzi did not stop her. Uncle Gu, please keep an eye on Rongrong. If she really finds the evil soul master, don't let her make trouble this time. Just break the evil soul master's limbs and drag him back. Although Ning Fengzi said it easily, the coldness in his tone made people shudder. Gu Rong nodded, and the whole person disappeared. Chapter 133 City Defense Force, Help. Yuhan and Zhu King walked on the road, neither of them spoke, maintaining a strange silence. In the end, Zhu King could not help but slowly said, You are right, Bibi Dong did plot against Grandpa's worship hall. She did not succeed. You should be relieved. You, me, and Bibi Dong are originally enemies. What is there to be relieved about? What? You have mastered the worship hall. So you won't take revenge? Yuhan said casually. Impossible, I will definitely kill you. Zhu King said coldly. Yuhan could only shrug his shoulders at this. Isn't this the end of the conversation? Although the two were talking before, they were constantly observing everyone in Anil City, especially Yuhan, who was really angry this time. The purple demon eye carries the system's identification, and it is used once when seeing a person. Yuhan knows that these evil soul masters can shuttle between cities without being discovered, and their hiding ability must be very strong. Therefore, the identification of the game system is the best detector. Yuhan found nothing along the way, and even doubted whether the evil spirit master had come to Anil City. Just when Yuhan was about to turn around and go to the other side, he identified an apple. An apple contaminated by evil power. It's not that Yuhan has never identified inferior apples before. Most of them are old apples or inferior apples. This is the first time that he has identified apples that are contaminated by evil. But after identifying this store owner, he is just an ordinary person. Boss, where did you get this apple? Yuhan asked, picking up an apple. The boss was shocked when he saw Yuhan, and hurriedly said respectfully, it turns out to be the city lord Yuhan. This was purchased from a caravan before. I bought it because the price was cheap and the apples were fresh. Where is the merchant who bought it? Yuhan suppressed his excitement. It seems to be in the ruins in the south of the city. There were a lot of construction waste materials waiting to be processed before. The store owner said directly without thinking too much. Yuhan handed the shopkeeper a gold soul coin and picked up an apple. I want an apple. These apples have problems. I advise you not to buy them. Thank you very much. Looking at the gold soul coin in his hand, the shopkeeper looked at the apple again and did not hesitate to ask someone to deal with the apple. These apples probably can't be sold for 1 gold soul coin, and Yuhan's reputation in Anil City is still very high. After finding the location, Yuhan directly notified Esdeath and Leah in the group. The two who received the order quickly surrounded the south of the city. Since I found it, don't blame me for being rude. Yuhan thought he was not a saint. Most of the time, he was decisive in killing. Even when dealing with the enemy, he basically didn't torture the enemy. But the evil soul master kept refreshing Yuhan's cognition and bottom line of them. When Yuhan and Zhu King arrived in the south of the city, there was indeed a caravan resting here. When Yuhan's appraisal went down, he saw, evil soul master, Sadiq, level 51 soul king. It was just a soul king. The others were soul lords or soul masters. No wonder they only attacked children. Seeing Yuhan appear here, Sadiq, the leader, took out the gold soul coin very skillfully. This bribery method was so skillful that it made people feel distressed. However, Yuhan would not have any mercy at this moment. The king's treasure opened and the golden chain flew out quickly. Yuhan did not intend to tie him up. He saw the heavens chain directly pass through Sadiq's limbs and nailed him to the ground. The sudden change scared the remaining evil soul masters. They reacted and opened their martial souls to rush towards Yuhan, and then the remaining few were also nailed to the ground. Don't you know that fighting is not allowed in Anil City? Aren't you afraid of the city defense army? Sadiq looked very calm, unlike his younger brother who kept yelling. Answer me, where did the children you kidnapped go? Yuhan's first sentence made Sadiq's pupils shrink, and his brain kept thinking about which child Yuhan was looking for. After all, most of their test subjects are children. Generally, they are either orphans picked up on the roadside, or they kill the other party's parents and snatch them directly. What are you talking about, kid? We are just a caravan. You are done. When the city defense army comes, I will see how you can survive in Anil City. Seeing that Sadiq would not cry until he saw the coffin, Yuhan was a little annoyed. The heavens chain was driven by Yuhan and kept turning in his hands. Hiss. Bastard, what on earth are you going to do? Sadiq's forehead was sweaty and trembling all over. He wanted to release his martial spirit to resist, but Zhu King just smiled faintly. His martial spirit and soul power naturally began to melt. Just when Sadiq was about to despair, he saw the city defense army led by Leah and shouted excitedly, "Help! City defense army, help! There is someone here in Anil City who is openly attacking, quickly arrest him." Leah came over to identify and understood who Yuhan was arresting. She frowned and looked at Sadiq who had been chattering, and kicked him in the face. For a moment, Sadiq's mind was a little dazed, and he looked at Leah in disbelief. You have to know that there are reasons why Sadiq came to Anil City. The first is that Jihan has a grudge against the Spirit Hall. You have to know that the Spirit Hall is an organization that strives to eliminate all evil spirit masters on the mainland. Even Jihan cannot deny this. So far, the only place that the Spirit Hall dares not touch is Anil City. Another reason is that Anil City does not allow private fighting in the city, which makes Siddiq very happy. Siddiq originally hid in Anil City and then returned to the arena. Along the way, he also inquired about a lot of news about Anil City, and Siddiq was very satisfied. Unexpectedly, after only 2 or 3 days, Anil City was suddenly closed. But it didn't matter. Siddiq planned to stay there permanently. As a result, an unfamiliar person seemed to know that they were evil spirit masters and nailed them to the ground as soon as they came. Leah, who was originally hopeful, came over and kicked him again. Is this how you treat merchants in Anil City? As expected, all crows are black. If I get out alive, I will tell all the merchants in the world that your Anil City is not worthy of its name. Looking at Siddiq, who refused to repent, Leah was really annoyed and kicked him again. Esdeath also came over at this moment. Siddiq naturally knew Esdeath, the general of Anil City, but he had no hope at this moment. After all, Leah of the city defense army had punched and kicked him. Oh wow. Zion, you found the evil soul master so quickly. Esdeath licked his lips excitedly. Siddiq's pupils shrank, and he looked at Jihan in disbelief. Now, anyone who is not a fool knows that it was Jihan, the mayor of Anil City, who took action directly before. He refused to say where those children are, and I feel that there may be an organization behind him. Otherwise, a soul king, several soul masters and soul lords have the financial resources? Don't be funny, I'll leave it to you next, just to develop your advantages. Jihan originally thought that Esdeath's character would never be released in this world. Unexpectedly, today there was a person, no, it should be a profession that gave Esdeath a chance to show his skills. Esdeath was also very excited. Usually, when dealing with enemies, she was restrained by Jihan, and it was not easy for her to kill them. It was really boring. Now how could she miss the talent that came to her door? Don't want to say it. It's better if you don't want to say it. I hope you can keep being so stubborn so that I can have fun. Don't worry, I'll be careful with this rare toy. Esdeath's words made Siddiq tremble, and he always felt that he had fallen into the hands of a bad person. Seeing this, Jihan took back the heaven's chain. Esdeath quickly froze the wounds of Siddiq and others with ice. We finally got this toy, so we can't let it die from excessive bleeding. Shisu, take these guys to the prison, and ask Sam for a healing spirit master to cooperate with me in the interrogation. Esdeath smiled excitedly. I'm starting to like this world a little bit. Yes, General Esdeath. Shisu took a few soldiers and dragged a few people away. As for Esdeath, Shisu obeyed orders 100%. It can be said that Esdeath is his mentor, or the mentor of most of the people who joined the army. They are all spirit masters with no talent, or ordinary people without spirit power. Esdeath taught them how to become stronger and how not to be bullied. She was very caring and tolerant towards her soldiers. Such a charismatic personality made Shisu and the entire army crazy about Esdeath, and they felt that only here could they find themselves and their belonging. Chapter 134. I said everything. After Jihan caught the evil spirit master, everyone gathered near the prison. Brother Han, where's the evil spirit master? Ben Tiaofeng looked around the prison, but did not find the target. He looked at Jihan with some confusion. Jihan's mouth twitched slightly. Then why don't we wait for a while, otherwise I'm afraid you won't be able to adapt. What do you mean by not adapting? And there are things I can't adapt to. I want to beat this evil spirit master up right now. Yu Xianheng said angrily. Yu Xiangxin and Ning Rongrong on the side also nodded in agreement. Seeing that they were so determined to see, Jihan led a few people to the inside of the prison. An auxiliary spirit master affiliated with a hospital covered his mouth and ran over quickly. City Lord Jihan, sorry, I have to leave for a moment. The auxiliary spirit master quickly ran to the side. What's wrong? Ning Rongrong looked at the previous auxiliary spirit master with some confusion. What kind of disgusting thing did he see that made him react so strongly? As they looked at each other, Esdeath walked out happily. Although I am very happy, the psychological quality of these auxiliary spirit masters is too poor. Why not let Tang San help me directly? Tang San is the most suitable for me. Oh, how is the situation? Jihan smiled awkwardly. This is the information you want. I have tested it and there is basically no problem. Esdeath handed the information in his hand to Yihan, and then looked at Tang San behind Yihan. San, let's go together. These are all scumbags. Although you don't need time, we can have some fun together. Allah, forget it this time, next time. Tang San replied with a smile. Esdeath sighed with some regret, then I will definitely do it next time. Well, can we go in and take a look? Ningrongrong was impressed by Esdeath's aura and asked cautiously. Yes, we want to go in and give him a punch. These evil spirit masters deserve to die. Yu Shai and Hang said indignantly. Esdeath looked at the determined people and shrugged casually, then go in and take a look. But don't do anything, I got a toy with great difficulty, I can't let you kill it. Just when the people were confused, Esdeath had already walked in, and everyone followed curiously. As soon as they entered, they smelled a strong smell of blood. When they walked in, they saw that all the nails on Siddiq's right hand were pulled out. The whole person seemed a little sluggish, with dull eyes. Seeing Esdeath coming in, he was afraid and wanted to struggle. I said everything, please let me go. Siddiq saw Yihan as if he saw a life-saving straw, and he roared madly. Esdeath turned his head, blinked, and looked at Yihan with great expectation. Although the current situation is not suitable for love, Esdeath's action just now touched him, and he was not going to show mercy to the evil soul master Yihan. Really? What did you say? Esdeath, didn't you say he didn't want to tell me any information? Yihan looked at Esdeath in confusion. Seeing Yihan speaking, Esdeath smiled brightly, and slowly said in Siddiq's terrified eyes, that's right, so I prepared other torture methods. Next, I will cut off the skin of your entire right hand bit by bit in front of you. Don't worry, I will be careful. In addition, I have notified other auxiliary soul masters to ensure that you will not die. Every time Esdeath said a word, Siddiq's body trembled. He knew that Esdeath was not trying to scare him, and he shouted hysterically, I said it, I really said it. Since she said I didn't say it, I will tell you now, you let her let me go, please. Crack. Ice suddenly appeared and froze Siddiq's mouth directly, making the latter completely unable to speak. Siddiq could only look at Yihan pleadingly. Yihan fell into deep thought for a while. Just when Siddiq had hope, Yihan slowly spoke, I still believe in professional judgment. It happens that Esdeath is the most authoritative. San, help him shoot. Esdeath saw that the auxiliary spirit master did not come, and hurried over to say. Tang San was of no benefit to the evil spirit master. She slowly walked in front of Siddiq, pointing the musket at Siddiq's head. At this moment, Siddiq felt that Tang San was an angel. In the hands of Esdeath, life is worse than death, but now Tang San gave him a shot and it was a relief. 4 bullets. Bang! The bullet sank into Siddiq's head. The original death did not come as expected, but all the injuries on Siddiq's body were restored, and the ice that locked his mouth disappeared. Let's do the operation again. I said before, your nails are longer, I will help you trim them again. Esdeath said very calmly. Siddiq was really desperate at this moment, you are a devil, why don't you kill me? Siddiq looked at Tang San with resentment and kept screaming. Ah! A fingernail was pulled off in front of everyone, don't look at San with such eyes, this is your savior. Ningrongrong was the first one who couldn't help it. It was like turning on a switch. Yu Xiangxin and Yu Xianheng rushed out one after another. Then it was Davis who pretended to be calm. You know, he had fought with Esdeath before, but he didn't expect this woman to be so cruel. Seeing Esdeath was about to attack again, Davis couldn't help but run out. Zhu King on the side was obviously uncomfortable and covered his mouth with his hand. Yihan came over with ill intentions, you don't want to swallow it. You. Yihan's words were too vivid. Zhu King rushed out quickly regardless of his own elegance. Compared with the younger generation, although these older generations twitched their eyes, they had come through the battle after all, which was much better than Ningrongrong and the others. Let's go. Let Esdeath play here by herself. We still have more things to do. Yihan didn't think it was cruel at all, or it was indeed a little unacceptable when he saw it for the first time, but thinking about the injuries on Guoruo's body, the burns on the left face, the words carved on the right face, and the almost blind left eye. Even under Benjo Feng's inspection, there were countless wounds of all sizes on the body, and some of the internal organs had failed. This is just a child. These evil soul masters don't know how many children they have, and how many people they have killed is unknown, not to mention the unknown experiments they are doing. With these, Yihan will not sympathize with them at all, and he also infinitely acquiesces to Esdeath's actions. This may be that the evil must be punished by the evil. Maybe Esdeath is not an evil person in his eyes, but as long as she is an evil person in the eyes of the evil soul master, it is enough. Soon everyone found a place to sit down in the prison, and Yihan opened the information in his hand. There are all the people who want to participate. Yihan will not be shy. Zhu King sat aside with a pale face, and Ning Rongrong and others did not participate in this meeting at all. The information obtained by Esdeath is very limited. It should be said that Siddiq knows very little. There are many evil soul masters like them who roam around. All wandering soul masters usually deal with failed or useless test subjects and capture some test subjects along the way. Siddiq usually takes the captured people to a place called Xiaoyu City. According to him, it used to be called this name, but because Xiaoyu City is located at the junction of the Xingluo Empire and the Xiandao Empire, it is in a no-man's land situation, so now it is full of darkness. Anyway, since I know about this matter, I will naturally not let it go, so I am going to take a look. Yihan directly disclosed most of the information. Anyway, Anil City is now on the right track, so he can leave. I'll go with you. Zhu King said palely. I'll go too. Davis hesitated. After all, Zhu King went there as a prince. If he was a prince of the Xingluo Empire, he would lose face. Uncle Gu, please go with Yihan and the others. I don't have to worry about my safety in Anil City. Ning Fengzi said gently. Yihan waved his hand. No, I'm going alone for this matter. I will inform Uncle Zhao, so you don't have to worry about my safety. Just kidding, this Xiaoyu City is a dangerous place as soon as it is introduced. It would be too big a target for Yihan to bring so many people. Moreover, Davis's strength is too weak, and he has to be taken care of if he is taken there. As for Zhu King, Yihan does not deny that she was absolutely at the peak of her appearance when she was Jin Ringsu. But he killed Jin Ringsu's grandfather, and the two were enemies. Yihan is not horny enough to take an enemy to such a dangerous place. What if Jin Ringsu shoots him? Chapter 135 Dark Xiaoyu City. Yihan had made it clear, and no one would stop him. I will dispatch soldiers from the Xiandao Empire to pick you up. Zhu King said calmly. Davis also said that he would send soldiers. After all, he came here not only to bring people into the Dimension Academy, but also to make friends with Yihan. Yihan nodded, but he did not stop this situation. If the entire Xiaoyu City is really a large evil soul master organization base, it is still more realistic to destroy it. In this case, there is no time to lose. I will leave first. Uncle Zhao is expected to come out of retreat within the next 2 days. At that time, let Uncle Zhao take the old poison to the outside of Xiaoyu City, and rush in if there is an accident. After explaining everything, Yihan made a prompt decision and set off directly. Maybe if he went earlier now, he could save one more person. The map in Yihan's hand was given by Zhu King, because that area was indeed very chaotic and difficult to draw a map, so although the map in Yihan's hand was the latest, Xiaoyu City still looked like it 2 decades ago, and it had not moved at all. Yihan was very fast and soon arrived at the so-called Xiaoyu City. Before he entered the city, Yihan felt waves of evil soul power wandering in the city. This was his first time here, so Yihan would not rush in, but watch the people coming and going at the door. People here would fight over anything they disagreed with, which gave Yihan the same feeling as the description of the city of slaughter. Yihan put on a mask, put on a black robe, and walked towards the city gate calmly. Boy, are you new here? You must not have any evil aura on you. You must be a rookie dressed like this. Listen to my advice, keep the good stuff, and get out of here, and you can still survive. A strong man said arrogantly with several younger brothers. Yihan frowned slightly and explored the soul power of several people. He found that it was not high, but there was a strange power wrapped around them, as if it had invisibly increased a lot of soul power. Seeing that Yihan didn't speak, the strong man was a little impatient. Since you are talking, then I will teach you a truth about the evil city today. The fight here is only different between the living and the dead. As he said that, several younger brothers rushed towards Yihan quickly. Yihan flashed, a golden light flashed, and a treasure flew out, killing one person in seconds. Yihan didn't care about their life or death at all, and he didn't care about it. In just a moment, all of them were dead. Some people who had originally targeted Yihan turned their eyes away. Yihan had already told them with his strength that this was someone they couldn't afford to offend. Yihan calmly stepped over the corpse and walked into Xiaoyu City, or the Evil City. After Yihan walked away, the remaining few people rushed towards the dead strongman group. It was obvious that they were looting the good things on them, but Yihan didn't care. It must be said that the Evil City is really big. Once Yihan entered, he seemed a little confused. He stood there for a while and didn't know where to go. This guy is in the Evil City for the first time. A wretched uncle walked towards Yihan. Yihan glanced at the uncle and said nothing. The latter raised his hands and said, I have seen you show off your might in front of the city gate. I just want to make a deal with you. What? I have been working in the Evil City for 10 years. I know most of it, if not everything. As long as you are willing to take out 100 gold soul coins, I will take you around. The wretched uncle smiled wretchedly. Yihan really needs a guide at the moment. He took out 100 gold soul coins and handed them to the uncle. The latter's eyes lit up. Brother, you are open-minded. You can call me Black Dog. What's your name? After thinking for a while, Yihan said calmly, call me Tang San. Yihan couldn't think of a pseudonym for a while. What should he do? He could only let the chosen son of this world take the blame. Tang San, who was practicing the chaotic cloak under the waterfall at this moment, sneezed. So it's brother Tang San. As soon as I heard the name, I knew he was a handsome man. Nice to meet you. Black Dog said very familiarly. Facing such a person who said one thing to one person and another to another, Yihan had no prejudice. It was just a way of communication. However, he still had to be vigilant in this so-called Evil City. I remember when I came here last time, it was still called Xiaoyu City. Why is it renamed Evil City now? Yihan asked puzzledly. When Black Dog heard what Yihan said, he couldn't help laughing. I saw you, brother Tang San, were so decisive in killing people before, so I thought you knew a little about this place. I didn't expect you to be a complete novice. Excuse me, I just heard my grandfather talk about Xiaoyu City, so I came to take a look. I didn't expect it to be completely different from what my grandfather said. Yihan said casually. No wonder, Xiaoyu City was a thing of the past decades. Ever since a group of people came here, killed the original city lord, and completely transformed it, it gradually became what everyone calls the Evil City. After Higao's introduction, Yihan was still very shocked by the existence of the Evil City. Although the killing here is decisive, it is fundamentally different from the Slaughter City. The Slaughter City is, after all, the place where the throne of the Shura God is inherited. It exists only for killing, but the Evil City is different. This is a city built by evil soul masters. It is full of evil, a large number of illegal transactions, and a large number of black market trading markets are countless. And according to Higao's introduction, there is a special fruit here. After eating this fruit, a lot of evil aura will appear on the body, but it can quickly improve strength. In addition to the evil aura, since there are no side effects, it is highly respected by the villains in the Evil City. Having said so much, brother Tang San, how about I take you for a walk? Higao said with a smile. You are quite dedicated. According to what you said, shouldn't you take me to the black shop, and then rip me off, and then leave in style? Yihan said playfully. Heigu didn't care when he heard it, and said with some flattery, to be honest, I am only a level 43 soul master. Although my strength is not very low in the Evil City, it is definitely not a sideways walk, but I live a very comfortable life here, relying on my ability to recognize people. When brother Tang San made a move before, I knew that I was not his opponent. It is better to do business with such a person, rather than offend him, so I still see some things very clearly. Yihan did not underestimate Heigu. You know, living in this place where people eat each other for 10 years is really not something that ordinary people can do. Okay. Since you said so, let's find a place to eat first. I will pay, but I hope you don't do anything stupid. Yihan said seriously. When Heigu heard that someone invited him to dinner, his eyes lit up. Open-minded, you are really the most open-minded person I have ever met. As long as I, Heigu, know everything, I will tell you everything. The two walked one after the other. Yihan observed the surroundings and asked with some doubts, although this is the border between the Xingluo Empire and the Xiandao Empire, it is a no man's land. Did the Empire send people to check it out? How could no one have been here? After all, it is the territory of the two empires. Seeing Yihan's interest, Heigu looked around, approached carefully, and whispered, I heard about it too. Don't talk nonsense. It is said that the evil city has the noble background of the two empires. Yihan's pupils shrank. He really didn't expect such a situation. After all, according to his understanding, the tolerance of Douluo Continent for evil soul masters is basically zero. A good noble is not doing his job, but mixing with evil soul masters. It must be related to the experiments here. Yihan kept thinking, and then quickly opened the guild group. Yihan, I have come to Xiaoyu City. People here call this place the Evil City. Tell Davis and Zhu King not to go to the Empire to mobilize troops. The Evil City has the background of the Empire. Yi, understood. Xiao Han, you should be careful. Uncle Zhao has already made a breakthrough and is on his way to Xiaoyu City. If there is any big move, it is best to wait for Uncle Zhao to arrive. Yihan, okay. After briefly explaining the situation, Hegu took Yihan to a restaurant. Looking at the menu, the prices were ridiculously expensive. Yihan looked at Hegu with some ill intentions. Seeing this, Hegu hurriedly explained, Brother Tang San, don't get me wrong. Although it is expensive here, this restaurant will definitely not drug or do anything bad. If Brother Tang San doesn't believe it, you can go around and have a look. Yihan nodded and didn't go to investigate anything. Anyway, he had to use the appraisal to see if there was any problem. Besides, he was just surprised by the prices here, not to the point where he couldn't afford it. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136, Killing a Chicken to Scare the Monkey and Killing Someone with a Boro Knife. I have to say that although the food here is very expensive, it is indeed the same as what Black Dog said, there is nothing wrong with the food, and it is even very fresh. After eating and drinking, Black Dog took Yihan directly to the largest black market in Evil City. Brother Tang San is here for the first time, so of course you can't miss our black market in Evil City. The most common things here are slave trading and item trading. If you like it, I can help you negotiate the price. I am quite good at this. Black Dog volunteered and patted his chest. Yihan frowned. The word slave trading was absolutely taboo in Yihan's previous world, but in Douluo Continent, not to mention the black market, even regular auction houses have it for sale. As far as I know, even outside there are slave trading. In Douluo Continent, this kind of trading should be considered legal. Why do we have to come to the black market? Yihan asked in confusion. Black Dog chuckled, Brother Tang San, you don't know this, right? Most of the slaves in the auction houses or other places outside are foreigners, or they sell themselves for money. But in this black market, slaves can be designated. If you like someone, as long as you pay enough money, you can catch him. This is why the slave industry in the black market is so hot. The two talked and entered the gate of the black market. Hey, isn't this Lord Dog? Bringing a newcomer to slaughter again. Black Dog was not angry at all, and even said with some gloating, this time is different. I advise you to stay away from this guy, otherwise you will die without knowing how. After Black Dog finished speaking, several people looked at each other, looked at Yihan carefully, as if they wanted to remember Yihan completely, and then left without stopping. I didn't expect you to be so majestic here. Yihan looked at Black Dog in surprise. Black Dog chuckled and said in a somewhat vulgar way, they are just some thin reputations, nothing more than a better eye. You should know that Black Dog is most famous for his eyesight. In the past 10 years, he has never made a mistake in judging people. As time goes by, the people in the evil city have to give him some face. And some people who want to live a comfortable life can naturally pay Black Dog to judge their appearance and see if they can afford to offend him. Soon the two came to a bulletin board, and Black Dog introduced it very familiarly. Here are the slaves in the slave market who are being offered a huge reward. The work is done by Dark Walkers, which is a nice name, but they are actually human traffickers. Yihan looked closely at the people at the top of the bounty list, since there are Ningrongrong from the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile Sect, Esdeath and Leah from the Dimension Academy, Bibi Dong and Jinringsu from the Spirit Hall, and even my own bounty. It's outrageous. Black Dog looked at Yihan with a strange look in his eyes and coughed a few times. Don't think too much about the people above. These are all bounties paid by some people who don't know what's good for them. To be honest, The Dark Walkers also know that this is completely impossible and they won't really try. Of course, there are some Dark Walkers with holes in their brains, but every time a Dark Walker fails a mission, the bounty must be increased. This is the rule. Yuhan asked curiously, what about the source of the information? For example, this Jinring Su, I don't even know her. Is there really such a person in the spirit hall? There's nothing to be said about intelligence. We only offer a bounty here. As long as they see this person and know his name, they can offer a bounty. All the information is collected by the Dark Walkers themselves. That's why the Dark Walkers can get 20% of the total transaction. Black Dog's tone clearly showed that he disliked these Dark Walkers. Hearing what you said, it seems that the Dark Walkers are not that powerful. Yuhan chuckled. Black Dog said with some disdain, they are just a bunch of useless people whose strength has not improved at all. After all, who would do this if they were really titled Douluo? Not to mention facing big figures like the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile Sect and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, even some small junior Soul Master academies dare not do it, and most of them start with civilians. Yuhan also nodded. What Black Dog said was not wrong. Not to mention titled Douluo, Soul Emperors are already considered powerful people, and they will definitely not do this. Black Dog saw that Yuhan had no interest in the bounty list, so he took Yuhan to continue walking forward. Yuhan really saw the so-called human tragedy. Living people were locked in cages, their faces were numb and their eyes were dull. Yuhan was not a saint. If he hadn't met Yuhan, he would never care about these things. After all, Douluo Continent was deformed. These slaves, to put it bluntly, were legal here. But since he had met them, Yuhan would not show mercy. This also made Yuhan determined to destroy the so-called evil city. Walking along, Yuhan had a blank expression on his face, and his aura did not fluctuate at all. Black Dog had been observing Yuhan, and looked at Yuhan who was unmoved, and looked at him with a higher opinion of him. Brother Tang San is really good at self-control. You know, in order to sell these slaves, these slave traders have sprinkled some special smells on their bodies to arouse people's desire. Facing Haigu's compliment, Yuhan just nodded, what's in front? The place in front is called Yellow. It can be said to be a clean stream in the entire evil city, but no one dares to offend it. Yuhan asked in surprise, is there a so-called clean stream in the evil city? Yes, Yellow is a pure killer organization. They never participate in any slave trade or evil soul master activities. They only accept killer activities. And the difference from the previous Dark Walkers is that there may be soul Douluos among these killers. They are not for money, but for excitement. Extreme. Haigu described the configuration of the entire Yellow clearly. Of course, Haigu also stated that anyone who has been in the evil city for a while knows these. Isn't this Haigu? Bringing new people again. A strong man walked out of Yellow and said unceremoniously. Black Dog's face changed when he saw the person coming, but then he looked at Yuhan beside him and showed a thought-provoking smile. Da Zhuang. I don't have time to care about you this time. Bah. Do I need to care about you? But you have someone behind you, I can't touch you, you don't have anyone with you. Da Zhuang walked to Yuhan's side with a mocking look, stretched out his hand to take off Yuhan's mask. It's your bad luck, let me see your face, if someone buys your life, I will send you to death today. Black Dog stepped back a few steps and looked at Da Zhuang with some amusement. Yuhan frowned slightly when he looked at the hand stretched out, and the golden light around him flashed, and the heavens chain attacked Da Zhuang without hesitation. Da Zhuang, as a level 64 Soul Emperor and a killer, reacted quickly and retreated quickly to avoid. In the entire evil city, there are fights, life and death, and Yuhan is afraid of trouble. What is the simplest way? It is to deter the enemy. Killing a chicken to scare the monkey is very useful no matter where it is, especially killing a Soul Emperor. With this in mind, a spear appeared from a golden halo. Yuhan held the spear and pointed it at Da Zhuang. Third soul skill, true name release. Piercing Death Spear. The red light flashed and Da Zhuang's heart, which had just been possessed by the martial spirit, was instantly pierced. He looked at Yuhan in disbelief and fell to the ground and died. The spear on Da Zhuang's body also slowly disappeared, as if he had never had this weapon. The people who were originally watching the excitement around ran away to prevent themselves from being affected. Black Dog's pupils also shrank. He knew that Yuhan was not simple, but he didn't expect that since he was so amazing, even the Soul Emperor would be killed without any hesitation. And to be able to kill the Soul Emperor in seconds, He must be at least a soul saint. Originally, Black Dog just hoped to use Yihan's hand to repel Dazhuang, but he didn't expect Yihan to kill Dazhuang directly. Brother Tang San is so skilled. It's like a god descending from heaven. I admire you very much. Black Dog complimented very familiarly. Yihan was unmoved. He looked at Hegu calmly and said, "You use this trick of borrowing a knife to kill someone very well." Hegu smiled bitterly. The man in front of him was indeed not a white-timer who knew nothing. I think Brother Tang San came to Evil City for a purpose. To be honest, I still have some information about Evil City. Brother Tang San and I will go back later, and I will give you the information I have sorted out. Yihan was slightly surprised and nodded slightly. He also understood why this Black Dog, who was not very strong, could thrive in Evil City. This decisiveness was also necessary. Seeing Yihan nod, Hegu asked cautiously, "What about this matter?" "Let's forget about it." Yihan's words made Hegu completely relieved, and he became familiar again, and continued to walk forward with Yihan. This time, because of Yihan's previous killing of the chicken to scare the monkey, as long as Yihan came, the people nearby would deliberately avoid it. Chapter 137 Transaction. Xiandao Empire, in the palace. Father, I think this matter must be investigated thoroughly. Zhu King looked at Emperor Zuyi with a serious face. Emperor Zuyi, who was sitting in the first seat, also heard such a thing for the first time. He tapped the chair with a gloomy face and was also thinking about what Zhu King said. "King, this matter is very serious and involves unprecedented things." Emperor Zuyi hesitated. There were many things that Emperor Zuyi was not unaware of, but he just couldn't investigate it in detail. Once it was investigated, Emperor Zuyi was afraid that the ministers of the entire Xiandao Empire would be seriously injured. So basically, as long as it didn't harm the Xiandao Empire, Emperor Zuyi basically turned a blind eye. Zhu King didn't argue, and bowed slightly. "In that case, King will take his leave. Well, go down. Take care of your useless brother and tell him not to play all day long." Emperor Zuyi was very satisfied with Zhu King's attitude. Zhu King left with a flickering look in his eyes, supporting his forehead with his right hand. What a trouble. I didn't expect the Empire to know but not stop it. It's really rotten. It seems that I have to find a way to deal with this matter myself. The Xingluo Empire and the Xiandao Empire had exactly the same idea. After all, the trouble was too serious to be investigated in detail. Father, should we let the evil soul master do whatever he wants in this matter? Shouldn't we investigate it strictly? Davis didn't understand as well as Zhu King did, and argued with him. The person sitting on the throne said irritably, "Don't I know? You take good care of yourself. Daimyo will be back in a while. Go down." Davis really didn't know what to say for a while, so he could only leave the palace. In the Evil City, the entire black market is basically covered by slave trading and item exchanges. There was nothing special about the rest of the journey. Most of the items traded were contraband from the mainland, or items used by some evil soul masters. These things were jointly banned by the Xiandao Empire, the Xingluo Empire and the Wuhan Hall. "Hey, Brother Tang San, look, these are some of the information I have collected over the years. You can see if it can help you." Black Dog smiled obscenely and handed the information to Yihan. Yihan did not dislike these dirty papers and calmly began to browse the entire information. It must be said that Black Dog's information is very detailed, but it does not contain what Yihan wants to see the most. Why do you collect information about the Evil City when you have nothing to do? Black Dog smiled. In addition to intuition, eyesight relies on rich experience in identifying people. These experiences combined with these information are the reason for the training of eyesight. Then is there any information about the City Lord's mansion? Before Yihan finished speaking, he was pulled into the house by Black Dog and the door was closed. "Brother Tang San, please don't harm me. How can the City Lord's mansion say anything nonsense? The whole Evil City is full of people from the City Lord's mansion. I will be dead if I'm not careful." Looking at Hegu's terrified face, Yihan frowned. "Is this City Lord's mansion so scary?" Hegu looked at Yihan with an uncertain expression. "Are you here to investigate the City Lord's mansion? The Xiandao Empire? The Xingluo Empire? Or the Spirit Hall? Are you asking this because you know something?" Yihan's eyes flashed with golden light, and he looked at Hegu with some amusement. Black Dog felt uncomfortable being stared at, and shouted angrily, "I do know some things, but I will never tell you before I confirm your identity. I'm also doing this to stay alive. You have to understand me." Black Dog sat down on the chair with a look of determination. Johan also understood Black Dog's worries and pondered, I'm sorry, none of the three forces are like that. Black Dog pursed his lips when he heard that. That's right. The Heaven Dao Empire and the Star Luo Empire will definitely not upset to balance with such a small matter. As for the Spirit Hall, it's too far away from here and probably doesn't know it all. Johan changed the subject, but I have the ability to protect your safety. Isn't this what you ask for? Black Dog looked at Johan with some disdain. I'm not bragging. On the mainland, there are only these three major forces that want to fight against the evil city. I'm from the Dimension Academy. I don't know if you know about it. Johan asked calmly. Hearing this, Hagu's eyes flashed, and he asked with some expectation, are you talking about the Dimension Academy with Use Io Douluo and Do Douluo? Yes. That's not without a chance. Hagu touched his chin. How are you going to prove it? You know I can't just rely on your words to be true. Johan took off his mask, revealing an enviable face. As a familiar mainland intelligence, Hagu recognized this face at the first time. You are Johan. Yes, can you believe it now? There was a glimmer of hope in Hagu's eyes, and some struggle. Done. Agree to one condition for me, I can help you invade the city lord's mansion. Tell me. At this moment, Johan also saw that Hagu didn't seem to live in the evil city simply. My life doesn't matter, but I need you to help me find someone. This is his photo. You don't need to ask about his relationship with me, as long as you can find him. Hagu put away his wretched look and looked at Johan seriously. Johan didn't rush to take the photo. You also know that Douluo Continent is very big. I can't go around the world to find someone for you. He is in the evil city. 10 years ago, he was captured by the evil soul master. You can't find him in the evil city, which means he is in the city lord's mansion, right? And how can you be sure that he is not dead? It is not easy to survive being captured by an evil soul master. Johan looked at the Black Dog with interest. The Black Dog lifted up the clothes on his right hand, and a black meridian was clear and strange, which made Johan stunned. This is the blood contract I made with him. If he dies, I will die. Johan checked and found that Black Dog was not lying. He was even more confused. You must tell me the relationship between this guy and you. This involves the way I save him. Black Dog was silent for a while, and then gritted his teeth and said, the son of a comrade. 3 question marks appeared in Johan's head instantly. Is the son of a comrade worth so much? Is he your? Black Dog looked at Johan's expression and knew that he had begun to think divergently, and even began to think about some bad things. He quickly described the whole thing. Johan's face was even more strange. Does that mean the person you liked married your comrade? What's the problem? We competed fairly at the beginning, and I just lost. Black Dog said righteously. Even if that's the case, you wouldn't do such a hellish thing as a blood contract. Johan said speechlessly. Black Dog was silent for a long time, then sighed and said, he saved my life. Logically, I should have died a long time ago. This time, I will just give it back to him. Johan did not comment on how outrageous Black Dog's actions were. In the final analysis, the two of them were actually mutually beneficial. He got the information from Black Dog, and Black Dog asked Johan to save his comrade's son. I can help you. Really? Black Dog said in surprise. For Black Dog, after he first came to the evil city, he looked for opportunities to save people, but failed, so he sent anonymous messages to the Spirit Hall, the Star Luo Empire, and the Heaven Dao Empire. Unfortunately, the Heaven Dao Empire and the Star Luo Empire completely ignored him. The Spirit Hall was too far away, and the people sent to investigate were directly fooled and nothing happened. Black Dog couldn't wait any longer for 10 years, and even said that he was a little desperate, but today Johan's arrival gave him endless hope. He had heard of the forces that could fight against the Spirit Hall. Black Dog decided to put everything on Johan. That's right, but there are some things I need to make clear to you. This kid has not died here for 10 years. Have you considered the worst case scenario? Johan looked at Hagu seriously. I know, if he becomes an evil soul master, I hope you can catch him. I will bring him to his mother and father and kill him in person. Hagu said a little irritably. Hagu had expected this kind of situation a long time ago, but he just didn't want to think about it. After all, his parents were killed by the evil soul master. However, since Johan brought it up, Hagu would not hesitate, and was even very decisive. I understand. Since you have made a decision, then tell me all the information you know about the City Lord's mansion. Yuhan said seriously. Chapter 138 Exploring the City Lord's mansion. Deep in the evil city, in a dilapidated tavern. Are you the hope that Black Dog sees? It seems that you are not that good. A cold man with a terrifying look in his eyes, with a long scar on his face that extends all the way to his neck. With such a terrible injury, it is incredible that the person in front of him is still alive and well. Leng Su, right. You don't need to know how I am, just give me the things. Yuhan identified the person in front of him as soon as he arrived. His strength is 86 level Soul Douluo, which can be said to be one of the top combat forces in the entire evil city. Leng Su frowned and looked at Yuhan, and then an item wrapped in soul power flew out. Yuhan would not be stupid enough to catch it with his hands, and the king's treasure behind him opened. The item wrapped in soul power suddenly seemed to fall into the water and slowly sank into the king's treasure. Leng Su really looked at Yuhan at this moment. Not bad, although I don't know which faction you belong to, the things have been given to you, and I have also repaid Black Dog's favor. I will not participate in the future. Leng Su said indifferently. Yuhan nodded, and walked directly to the direction of the City Lord's mansion without looking back. On the way, Yuhan skillfully opened the guild group. Yuhan, everyone, I will go to the City Lord's mansion of Evil City tonight. Esdeath will bring troops here, and Uncle Zhao, Old Poison, and Dion will bring them together. When I send a signal, rush in. In addition, don't notify Davis. Just tell Zhu King to cooperate with the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Sect and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family to surround the evil city. I want to completely cut off the entire evil city. Yuhan knew in his heart that the Xiandao Empire and the Xingluo Empire were not reliable at all. In this way, Davis naturally could not be told. What if this idiot told the Xingluo Emperor? It would be a complete loss. As for Zhu King, he is Zhu King on the surface, but not in secret. Yuhan also believes that he will make the most correct decision. Esdeath, understood. Anil City, which received the news, immediately boiled. After all, Yuhan had been away for a while. Except for Esdeath and others who chatted in the group from time to time, others did not know. Zhu King, who was far away in the Xiandao Empire, also looked at the letter in his hand and fell into deep thought. What did Bibi Dong say? Zhu King's cold voice sounded slowly. A man in golden armor half knelt on the ground. A closer look revealed that it was Shi Long, the snake spear Douluo. Young master, His Holiness the Pope told us to pretend to help and secretly find an opportunity to kill Yuhan. Crack! The water cup in Zhu King's hand broke, and a trace of blood flowed from his hand, but the next moment the angel martial spirit flashed away, and his right hand became intact. Is she crazy? It is the duty of our Wuhan Hall to deal with evil soul masters. Shi Long didn't know what to say on the side. He couldn't afford to offend both sides. On one side was the Pope of the Wuhan Hall, and on the other side was Jinring Su, the only controller of the worship hall. Shi Long felt bitter, but he didn't say it. Go back and tell her. I will avenge my grandfather's affairs myself. What Yuhan is doing now is what all soul masters on the continent should do. If I take action now, what will it mean? He waved his hand coldly and turned away. In fact, Zhu King also thought about using this incident to kill Yuhan, but thinking of Yuhan's purpose, Zhu King did not want to go against his grandfather's teachings. After all, Jin Daoliu told Jinring Su since she was a child that if she met an evil soul master when she grew up, she must get rid of him and leave no one alive. Forget it, just consider it as a favor to repay Yuhan for telling me Bibi Dong's true purpose. Zhu King sighed, I won't show mercy next time we meet. In the evil city, Yuhan swaggered towards the City Lord's mansion, and the guards at the door seemed to have not seen Yuhan at all. At this moment, Yuhan used the ability from the treasure of an unknown assassin. It seemed that he was invisible, but in fact, he perfectly blended into the darkness and minimized his presence. After successfully entering the City Lord's mansion, Yuhan opened the map on the game system. This was drawn by Black Dog last time. Although it might not be completely correct, it was at least an indication. Following the map, Yuhan walked forward and soon came to a square. He slowly hid in the corner and looked at the square very calmly. Time passed quickly. After nearly half an hour, a ripple suddenly appeared in the square. A man wearing a mask, holding a child's body and throwing it on the ground, said, "Get rid of it." Soon, 2 evil soul masters came and took the child's body away expressionlessly. The masked man also disappeared on the spot. Calculating the time, Yihan came to the place where the man appeared before, took out the things he got from Ling Su, and opened it to find a piece of paper. Yihan put the paper in front of him, and saw that the paper sank into the space in front of him. The restriction in front of him disappeared silently, leaving only a staircase. Yihan did not hesitate to walk down directly. This information was collected by Black Dog over the years. He came to the city lord's mansion many times, but he could not find any evil soul master experiments or other places. Just when he was at a loss, Black Dog saw this scene unconsciously by chance. He originally thought that it was a space opened up by a space-based soul master, but after Black Dog found many experts, he concluded that it was a restriction blocking the entrance. To open the ben, certain conditions are required. It took nearly 5 years for Hegu to understand the principle and successfully made a piece of paper that temporarily opened the ben. He placed it in Ling Su's hand. As Yihan went deeper, the whole space suddenly became larger. Strange flames were burning nearby, illuminating the whole place. Yihan carefully hid and walked forward. After observing for a while, Yihan went directly to the first room on the left. The door was open. Yihan walked in to see if there was anything useful. There were a lot of books and papers placed inside. Yihan looked casually and found that they were all works of Soul Master researchers, which were basically of no value. Yes, if it was really important, would it be placed so casually? Just when Yihan was about to go out, a sound of footsteps sounded slowly. Yihan made a prompt decision and quickly hid behind the door. As the footsteps got closer and closer, it was obvious that they were coming here. Yihan cursed helplessly, "What bad luck." The door was fully opened, and a middle-aged man rushed in with a very excited pace. Yihan, who was hiding in the dark, activated his skill directly, identification. Shen Feng, a level 56 Soul King, has a possibility of a sudden increase in soul power due to the special reasons of an evil soul master. Where is it? Where exactly is it? I clearly put it here. Where did it go? Did Lao Wang take it away? It shouldn't be. Look for it again. Shen Feng crawled on the ground and searched everywhere. He didn't let go of the bookshelves around him. Yihan picked up the paper in his hand. No way, is this guy looking for this? Seeing Shen Feng getting closer and closer, Yihan's face became uncertain. Although reducing the sense of presence and being in the dark can make it impossible to find this person standing in front of you. But it is not completely disappearing. Once there is physical contact, it goes without saying that there is a person here. MD, you asked for it. Yihan really didn't want to cause trouble, but Shen Feng in front of him was determined to go this way. Instead of being discovered, it is better to take the initiative. With a mentality that he would never suffer a loss if he attacked first, Yihan quickly pressed Shen Feng down, covered Shen Feng's mouth with his hand, and said softly, "Look into my eyes." Shen Feng subconsciously looked at Yihan's eyes, and his body that wanted to struggle began to stiffen. Yihan looked at Shen Feng, who was completely petrified, and sat on the ground gasping for breath. The petrification skill comes from Medusa's treasure, the magic eye of petrification. The person being stared at will be directly petrified if his mental ability is not higher than that of the user. Now it is temporarily safe. Yihan can feel that there are still people waiting outside the door. The noise of knocking Shen Feng down before was so loud, but no one came in. It is estimated that such a sound has appeared before. Carefully recalling Shen Feng's voice, Yihan slowly opened his mouth and said to the outside, "I can't find my things. I will look carefully. If you have something to do, go and do it." After a while, the person at the door said, "I know, Lord Shen Feng, I will take my leave first. If you need anything, please feel free to give me instructions." After waiting for a while, Yihan was relieved that he could no longer feel the breath outside the door. Chapter 139 Crazy Experiment. After waiting for a while, he found that no one really passed by here. Yihan breathed a sigh of relief and found something to tie up Shen Feng and blocked his mouth. After doing everything, he released his soul power again. Shen Feng's petrification was dissolved. Shen Feng, who was confused, saw Yihan. His pupils shrank and he was about to shout. But the next moment, he found that something was stuffed in his mouth and his body was tied up, unable to move. "I'll take the thing out of your mouth. I hope you won't scream." Although Yihan was asking a question, his tone was definitely threatening. Shen Feng nodded with a flickering look in his eyes. Yihan took the thing out of Shen Feng's mouth directly, and the next moment a round thing was stuffed directly into Shen Feng's mouth. The latter just wanted to speak, but was blocked again, and Shen Feng swallowed the thing in his mouth subconsciously. Yuhan smiled playfully and said, I know that you evil soul masters have no integrity, but it doesn't matter, now you have it. After saying that, Shen Feng found that the restraints on his body had been untied. Shen Feng instantly distanced himself from Yuhan, took out the food in his mouth, and was about to shout for help, when he saw Yuhan's half-smile, and then he shuddered when he thought of what he had just eaten. What did you just give me to eat? Of course it's poison. After hearing Yuhan's words, Shen Feng's forehead was covered with sweat, and his face looked a little ugly. You can't run away, give me the antidote quickly. Can't run away? Oh, do you know why I feed you poison? Yuhan's words made Shen Feng stunned, and he subconsciously asked, why? That is to control you. Anyway, I come here whenever I want and leave whenever I want, what can you do to me? Yuhan said as he activated the treasure, and the whole person disappeared in front of Shen Feng. Then he appeared in front of Shen Feng again, and the latter was stunned, invisible. No, it's teleportation, that is to say, even if you don't help me shout, I will teleport away directly, and then you will be poisoned to death, and I will come back in 2 days. Yuhan said playfully. Shen Feng's face was uncertain. Who would really want to die? This is not a joke. Especially in Yuhan's situation, he didn't dare to gamble. If it wasn't invisibility but teleportation, he would definitely die. What do you want me to do? Shen Feng asked with an ugly face. What experiment are you doing? Yuhan asked solemnly. Speaking of experiments, Shen Feng fell into a special obsession. The experiment we did is the greatest. If it succeeds, the whole world will become different because of us. Pa. Yuhan slapped Shen Feng in the face. Do you want to die? Keep your voice down, answer whatever I ask, don't act like an evil soul master. Shen Feng looked aggrieved. I am an evil soul master. Pa. What experiment? Looking at Yuhan's cold eyes, Shen Feng hurriedly said, we collect souls through special methods, purify these souls, and put them into the human body to encourage him to obtain the martial spirit on the soul. If it succeeds, an ordinary civilian can become a great soul master, and even change his martial spirit. This is a world-shocking feat, and we will go down in history. The purpose of this experiment is not to be shocking. It wants ordinary people to obtain martial spirits. If you think about it carefully, it is indeed a world-shocking experiment. This is not a reason for you to use children as experimental subjects. Yuhan's cold eyes made Shen Feng calm down quickly. Children's bodies are not fully grown yet, so they are the best people to experiment with replacing or implanting martial souls. Besides, this kind of test subjects is very easy to obtain. Yuhan also understood what Shen Feng said, but it was the same sentence. He understood it, but he would not understand it. Take me to see your experiment. Yuhan thought for a while, and decided to get the experimental data first, so that if something happened later, he would have a reference. If you go out like this, both of us will die. I am not the highest person in charge here. Shen Feng said in embarrassment. It doesn't matter. I saw that you brought someone here before. You can call him over and I will just wear his clothes. Yuhan said casually. Looking at the serious Yuhan, Shen Feng thought about the poison in his body and compromised. Soon the person who had been here before appeared at the door. Shen Feng asked him to come in to help. Once he came in, Yuhan did not show mercy and killed him directly, which made Shen Feng shudder. He took off the clothes, put them on, and destroyed the body by the way. The familiar set of actions scared Shen Feng on the side. Okay, now tell me about this person's habits. Yuhan asked calmly. Shen Feng didn't dare to say anything more now, so he told everything he knew, and then asked carefully, after the matter is done, will you really give me the antidote? I still have this bit of integrity. Seeing Yuhan agreed, Shen Feng took Yuhan out of the previous room, walked straight all the way, and soon arrived at the laboratory. The whole journey was very short. I say, old Shen, you are too slow. Where is the stuff? A bald man asked familiarly. Shen Feng glanced at Yuhan, then pretended to be calm and said, Old Wang, I didn't find the things at all. Did you really put them in the data room? Go and have a look yourself. I'll watch here. Old Wang didn't think much about it, and said helplessly, I said I went there at the beginning, but you insisted that you had seen it. I'll treat you to dinner later. Seeing that Old Wang left, Shen Feng sat down on the chair. Yuhan said unceremoniously, Where are the experimental materials? Take them out. Shen Feng stood up with difficulty and put most of the materials in front of Yihan. Hurry up and take a look. Old Wang will be back soon, and we will both be in trouble. Tisk. Yihan didn't even look at it, and directly copied a copy using the game system, and the speed should not be too fast. Very good, now take me to the place where the child is imprisoned. With Shen Feng's face full of confusion, Yihan threw the materials in his hand. You've finished reading it. Shen Feng only saw Yihan flipping through it over there, and then it was over? Why do you care so much? Are you going or not? Yihan said unhappily. Go, go, go. The faster you move, the better. This way, we will be less likely to be exposed. Shen Feng said excitedly. You know, the faster Yihan moves, the better. He is now betraying the organization. The last person who did this died a miserable death. It can be said to be inhumane. He was put on the laboratory and was not let go even if he died. As soon as the two of them went out, they saw Lao Wang muttering, Hey, why are you out again? I went to check around, and the information is really gone. I don't know where it went. Maybe it was taken away by someone else. You go ask, I'll go see today's experiment. Shen Feng had what happened last time, so this time it was more natural. After fooling Lao Wang, Shen Feng took Yihan into a dark basement. As soon as Yihan entered, his pupils shrank. There were too many rows of prisons, and there were 4 or 5 children in each. Looking at the people who came in, some were panicked, and some had dull eyes, but they couldn't hide the fear in their eyes when they looked at the two. Yihan calmed down after taking a deep breath. Why is there no one guarding here? They are just some children, and they are placed at the bottom. Who needs to guard them? There's only one exit. Even if they run away, what can they do? Shen Feng explained. What about those evil soul masters? I don't think you're just a few people. Yihan asked seriously. Shen Feng has sold a lot of information, and now he doesn't need this little information. They are all monitoring the test site. There's a strict entry and exit control in that place. Don't even think about it. Yihan already knew the basics. Yihan took out a photo and handed it to Shen Feng. Do you know this person? Shen Feng looked at a photo of a child and said with some embarrassment, there are at least 500 children here, if not 1,000. How can I know them? This is a photo of him from 10 years ago, and I am very sure he is not dead. He was called Chen Yu 10 years ago. I don't know if he changed his name in the middle. Yihan explained. Shen Feng looked at the photo and pondered. After Yihan said this, he always felt that the little boy in front of him was very familiar, but he couldn't remember it. Yihan didn't urge him, and waited calmly for Shen Feng to think. Chapter 140 Don't contact me later. Seeing Shen Feng staring at the photo and thinking hard, Yihan also immersed himself in the guild group. Yihan, where's the army? Esdeath, don't worry, it's almost there. After all, most of the army are ordinary people, so there's no need to rush. Instead, the Soul Master family went to meet up with Uncle Zhao and Senior Douluo first. Yihan, okay, I'll send you the map of the evil city later. Leah, Xiao Han, a beautiful woman named Jinringsu came here, followed by 2 titled Douluo, saying they are here to help you. Yi. Kwang San, oh, I didn't expect that Xiao Han could still pick up girls even though we were watching so closely. What a mistake. Hanzhou Keed, Brother Han, you're a playboy. Esdeath, haha, all the troops listen to orders, withdraw. Dongtang, my dear friend, I haven't found my little Gaoshin yet, but you have found your love. MV. Seeing that the originally good strategic discussion suddenly turned into a condemnation meeting, Yihan's mouth twitched slightly. Yihan really didn't expect Jinringsu to bring a titled Douluo to help him, risking exposing Zhu King's identity. Yihan, don't be ridiculous. Jinringsu is from the Spirit Hall, the granddaughter of Jin Daoliu, understand? Dongtang, amazing. My dear friend, how did you manage to get the granddaughter of your enemy to help you like this? I admire you. Hanzhou Keed, I admire you. Esdeath, I admire you. Just when Yihan was about to explain, he suddenly felt something unusual happening around him. Yihan, something is going on here. Let me know when the army arrives. Get off. I remember. Chen Yu, yes, it is indeed Chen Yu. Seeing Shen Feng suddenly become mysterious, Yihan said unhappily, what do you know? Shen Feng wiped the cold sweat on his forehead, this is our leaders. I have only seen him once, so my impression is a little vague. Yihan was shocked. What the hell, are you sure? You know, he was captured by your evil soul master 10 years ago. How could he be your leader? It's true, why would I lie to you? The leader looks very similar to the photo, and is also called Chen Yu. This can't be a coincidence. Shen Feng said with a frown. Yihan's brain kept working, but he couldn't figure out what was going on. Tisk tisk. This black dog is really causing trouble for me. Sir, you see, basically I have taken you to all the places I have been to. Some of the places I haven't been to are places where I live or unimportant places. What do you think of this antidote? Shen Feng looked at Yihan with a flattering face. Yihan really didn't need Shen Feng at this moment, and he didn't plan to kill Shen Feng. After all, he had helped Yihan a lot during this period. However, not killing him now didn't mean that Shen Feng could survive when the army was approaching. There is no antidote, Yihan said casually. Shen Feng was so excited when he heard this. I said you can't break your promise. Didn't you promise me to give me the antidote before? Don't all of you evil soul masters like to break your promises? Yihan looked at Shen Feng with amusement. For a moment, Shen Feng didn't know what to say. He felt regretful and unwilling. For a moment, he felt mixed emotions. Yihan's figure slowly disappeared. I lied to you. What I gave you to eat was just an ordinary mud ball, not poison. After Yihan finished speaking, he disappeared on the spot. Shen Feng didn't think much about it and thought that Yihan had teleported away. At this moment, after hearing Yihan's words, he was in a complete turn of events. Shen Feng, overjoyed, wanted to report Yihan's visit, but suddenly thought that he had betrayed a lot of information, so he forced himself to suppress the impulse in his heart. Little did they know that Yihan had not left at all. He calmly followed Shen Feng out of the basement, and then quickly went to the place where the so-called test products were placed. On the other side, Esdeath and others saw that Yihan in the guild group was not talking, and then looked at Jinringsu, who was very indifferent in front of them. You said, Zhao, you can't really have an affair with this Jinringsu. After all, this Jinringsu is really good looking. Yi said in a low voice. Who knows? When it comes to the key point, Zhao ran away directly. God knows what happened. Tang San also participated in the discussion in a low voice. Several people were discussing heatedly, but Jinringsu on one side sat upright. After all, she was considered to be deep in the enemy camp. Although she followed two titled Douluo, the strength of the Dimension Academy was very strong, especially the middle-aged man sitting at the back. Since she felt the power of her grandfather in him, and the two titled Douluo also confirmed Jinringsu's guess, Jinringsu directly regarded Dian as a 99-level extreme Douluo. In the city lord's mansion of the evil city, Yihan retreated from the place he wanted to go before. It's really a ghost. There are restrictions everywhere here. It seems I have to wait for a while. Yihan returned to the basement where the children were imprisoned and pondered slightly. Yihan thought very clearly that if he insisted on entering the restricted place, he would definitely destroy it. In this way, the evil soul master would definitely find him, and then the children would be in danger, so Yihan was waiting for Esdeath and others to attack. Yihan was full of patience in the city lord's mansion. When no one was around, he ate and drank, replenished his energy, and waited for the opportunity. However, the black dog outside was already anxious. Why don't you come out? Why don't you come out? The black dog walked to the front of the room, then turned around and walked to the back, and kept going back and forth. Are you annoying? Can you be quiet? The person next to the black dog was Lingsu, who had said he was leaving before. How can I not be anxious? A day and a night have passed, and he hasn't come out yet. The black dog said a little irritably. Lingsu said indifferently, what is his true identity? If it's not the Empire or the Spirit Hall, he would have died in there. If he died in there, we're both done for. Hegu took the wine that Lingsu had poured for him and drank it all in one gulp. Lingsu did not stop him, but looked at Hegu seriously. I've already repaid the favor I owe you. I'm staying here to see our friendship. Since my life is in danger, I'll leave. Hegu looked at Lingsu, who was so decisive, and he said in his heart, the guy who went in is Yihan. Even if you can run, can you hide from Yu's Io Douluo and Poison Douluo? Lingsu's pupils shrank when he heard this, and he looked at Hegu in disbelief. Are you crazy? You let this kind of person go in alone. Hegu explained helplessly, my original intention was to let Yihan find a titled Douluo to come and force his way in, and Yihan insisted on going in first. At this moment, Ling Su packed up his things faster. He felt that the very smart Hegu was no different from an idiot now. Let's go, don't contact me again. We are even after this. No. What should I do if you leave? Black Dog grabbed Ling Su. Ling Su looked at Black Dog, who looked wretched but pretended to be pitiful, and almost couldn't help punching him, but fortunately he held back. Let go, I've done my best. Ling Su looked at Black Dog with gritted teeth. I'm just keeping a key to remove the ban for you. I didn't let Yihan go in to die. I don't care, if I'm caught by Yuzio Douluo, do you think I will sell you out? Once you leave, I'll open my mouth and say whatever I want. Black Dog said shamelessly. Ling Su rubbed his throbbing temple and put down the gift in his hand with a grim expression. You are still the calculating Black Dog. I was wondering why you would be so kind this time and just let me keep the key. Turns out you were waiting for me here. If I'm not mistaken. No matter who helps you, you plan to involve me in the end. Black Dog chuckled, just accept your fate. Although I'm anxious now, I don't think Yihan will get into trouble so easily. After all, he is the man who escaped from the hands of 10-titled Douluo. That's just a rumor in the market. The Spirit Hall has not admitted it at all, and Yihan has not come out to explain. But the Spirit Hall has not denied it, has it? Yihan and the Spirit Hall are now in a weird balance, and neither side wants to break it. You have to believe my eyes. It's been 10 years. Did I miss it? Black Dog said seriously. Ling Su sighed and lay down on the bed. I admit defeat. After this matter is over, don't contact me again. Hegu stopped talking and looked towards the city lord's mansion. He said that he trusted Yihan very much, but Hegu was also afraid of any accidents. Chapter 141 Before the War. Time passed day by day. Even the very confident Black Dog was no longer calm at this moment. There was no news about Yihan, and he never came out since he went in that night. I feel like we are done. Ling Su's indifferent face could no longer hold back, and he looked at Black Dog with a look of despair. Black Dog smiled awkwardly. Wait a little longer, I don't think things will be that simple. You said the same thing yesterday. Ling Su rolled his eyes, and the next moment Ling Su quickly got up from the bed and looked outside with a serious expression. Is there a situation? Yihan came out. Black Dog looked at Ling Su's reaction and asked excitedly. Ling Su really had a headache at this moment. As a sole Douluo, he clearly felt that a large army had come to the vicinity of the evil city. You stay here, I'll go out and see, maybe the Empire has sent troops. Impossible. Black Dog denied it without thinking, and then thought of something. I'll go with you, I may know who is coming. Ling Su nodded, grabbed Black Dog, and rushed out quickly. Some of the surrounding forces also had Soul Douluo rushing towards the border of the evil city. At this moment, Esdeath began to command in an orderly manner. Shisu, you take most of the people to the back door. Senior Douluo will cooperate with you. Someone is going to come out to kill. Most of the people who can be in the evil city are not good people. Soon the team moved quickly, and Xiaolei also quickly came to Esdeath and others. How is Yihan? No big deal. When the attack starts, Uncle Zhao, you go directly to the city lord's mansion. Yihan is there. Leah explained. Xiaolei nodded seriously. He came to the evil city a few days ago and was quite worried about Yihan. Wait a minute. Jin Ringsu frowned at Xiaolei. Why do you have the breath of your grandfather? Xiaolei was stunned and took a step back in embarrassment. Well, girl, I'm only in my 30s and I don't even have children, so it's even more impossible that I'm your grandfather. You recognized the wrong person. Yi came over at the right time and said softly, her name is Jin Ringsu. Yihan said she is Jin Daoliu's granddaughter. Ahem. What did you say? Why did she follow me? Xiaolei looked at Jin Ringsu in horror. Jin Ringsu also confirmed where the breath on Xiaolei came from. It was the 6 soul bones belonging to Jin Daoliu, and her face was a little complicated. Young master, calm down. I am a level 97 title Douluo, but I can no longer see through Yuxio Douluo. The bottom line is that Yuxio Douluo is already level 98, or even level 99. A title Douluo said softly. That's right. Because of the fusion of Jin Daoliu's 6 top soul bones, Xiaolei's strength is now close to the 99th level of the ultimate Douluo. As long as he completely refines the soul bones in his body, he will definitely break through the 98th level and become an ultimate Douluo. Ahem, girl, well, don't be sad. There are some things we don't want to do. After all, it was Jin Daoliu who came to pick a fight first. Zhao Lei smiled awkwardly. Dian on the side laughed and said, "Why don't you tell her about your glorious deeds in the past?" The brave Zhao Lei tried his best to block Jin Daoliu's escape route, and was finally caught up by me. Jin Ringsu looked at Zhao Lei with murderous intent when she heard the words. At this moment, Zhao Lei shouted, "Girl, calm down. I said there is no way. Considering what Xiao Han said, and the fact that you are here to help, let it go. Next time you show your killing intentions, I won't hold back." Although Zhao Lei is cynical, he still has some principles. He looked at Jin Ringsu with deep eyes, and the title Douluo on the side quickly blocked Jin Ringsu in front of him. Tisk. Got it. I will personally seek revenge on Yi Han for my grandfather's death. Jin Ringsu said coldly. Zhao Lei nodded his head upon hearing this. That's right. Seek revenge on Yi Han. It's all his fault. I have 108 of his weaknesses here. Do you want them? As long as you pay enough, they are yours. Jin Ringsu looked at Zhao Lei and was sure that he was a fool. Such a person should not be paid attention to. Just when Zhao Lei wanted to say something, Zhao Lei, Dian, Yu Yuanzhan and others looked towards the gate of the evil city. Several soul fighters appeared at the gate, including Lengsu and Hegu. Naturally, they were not as arrogant as the other soul fighters and stood back a little. Sure enough, they are from the Dimension Academy. Isn't this lineup too scary? Hegu looked at the crowd in horror. Do you know them? Lengsu asked doubtfully. You are so short-sighted. The 7 treasure glazed sect, Ningfengzi, Gurong, Yu Yuanzhan of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, and Zhao Lei of the Dimension Academy, who can talk and laugh with Zhao Lei, are either title Douluo or soul Douluo. The one next to him is the patriarch of the family affiliated with a Haoshan sect. The 3 of them are soul Douluo strength, and several of them may be close to title Douluo, much higher than you. In addition, there are a large number of soul masters and troops. What is Yi Han going to do? Black Dog was really uncertain at this moment. He originally thought that Yi Han would bring Zhao Lei and Dugubo to destroy the evil soul masters in the city lord's mansion, but now this posture does not look like destroying evil soul masters. This is to attack the Xiandao Empire. Is it necessary to deal with an evil city? The several soul Daolus who appeared looked at each other for a few times, and an old man walked out slowly. Ahem, I don't know what the respected His Majesties are doing in my evil city. Old man, go back to the city obediently, you still have a chance to survive, otherwise you will die rhythmically. Zhao Lei can be said to have no good face for these scums. The old man looked at Zhao Lei with an unpleasant expression, and did not intend to move. Zhao Lei looked at the several soul Daolus nearby, turned his head, and looked at Yi. Can you tell? Yi can judge whether a person is related to an evil soul master through his soul. No matter how a person disguises himself, as long as his soul is not clean, he is not a good person. Kill them all. Yi said calmly. Zhao Lei raised his mouth slightly. Is that so? Then I feel relieved. It's just right for you to try your hand. Zhao Lei's soul power was rioting, and 9 soul rings burst out at once, showing his strength as a title Douluo, especially the 9th soul ring was red, which made him a strong title Douluo. Run. The old man was not a fool. He was not Tang Hao. He wanted soul Douluo to kill the title Douluo. Looking at the soul Daolus who were running away, Zhao Lei's soul rings lit up, and the sound of the jade flute sounded, and the soul Daolus who were running away fell to the ground with blood flowing from their 7 orifices. Lengsu and the other person who were watching from a distance took a deep breath. Too horrible, they are soul Douluo after all, and they died in an instant. Oh my. Is there a little bug peeking? Zhao Lei appeared behind Lengsu without knowing when. Lengsu felt his body stiffen, and the instinct of death was getting closer and closer. He dared not move at all. Black Dog also swallowed his saliva and hurriedly took out a token from the soul guide. Wait. I have this. Black Dog shouted loudly. Yu Xiao, who was about to approach Lengsu's head, stopped. Even so, Lengsu was still thrown out. He climbed up with difficulty, looked at Zhao Lei who stopped, and gasped. Where did you get it from? Zhao Lei looked at Black Dog indifferently. Black Dog swallowed his saliva. This is what Yi Han gave me. He said that if he showed you this, you would not attack us. Yi. No problem. Although their souls are not very clean, there is no trace of evil soul masters. Yi said calmly. Zhao Lei heard this, put away the jade flute, and kindly pulled up Lengsu and Hegu who were lying on the ground. Oh. The flood really washed away the Dragon King temple. Next time you have something like this, take it out earlier. Haegu survived the disaster, and although he was indignant, he dared not say it out loud. It's my fault. I hope your majesty I will atone for my sins. Next time I will take it out in time. Well, the boy is teachable. Zhao Li nodded with satisfaction. I don't know why you came here. Haegu asked cautiously. Xiao Han believes that the evil city has been completely ruined. Since it is ruined, let it completely disappear from this continent. Yi smiled. Although he had expected this, Black Dog still couldn't help but shudder. So, what about the people inside? Esdeath showed a chilling smile. This is a war. As long as the souls are polluted by the evil soul master, they will all be killed, and those who are not will be investigated and decided later. The two people who got the answer shuddered. It was too horrible. There were many people in the evil city. Black Dog also guessed that the so-called souls polluted by the evil soul master should refer to eating that special fruit. He was also glad that he didn't eat that fruit, but you have to know that in the entire evil city, most of the people who left the night building may have eaten it, which means that there may be a massacre in the entire evil city. Chapter 142 The war begins. A large number of titled Douluo came to the outside of the evil city and killed several soul Douluo. The news has spread in the evil city. The whole evil city is now in a panic. Most of the people inside are scum. The first thing they want to do is to run away. The main gate is definitely not an option. They can only go to the back door. Most people think so, but unfortunately, the back door and the sky of the entire evil city are filled with poisonous gas arranged by Douluo. Especially at the back door, Douluo can't tell whether the person has problems or not. Anyone who wants to run away will be poisoned to death without exception. As more and more people die at the back door, the people in the evil city have no choice but to hide in their own small rooms. As the core of the evil city, the city lord's mansion naturally received the news. My lord, the entire evil city has been surrounded, and we have to move. Well, go and kill all the children in the basement, take the latest test subjects, and we will leave directly. A sinister old man was surrounded by an evil aura. Yohan also received the news of the arrival of Esdeath and others, but he was waiting for Esdeath and others to rest before attacking the city. Bang! Several evil soul masters rushed into the basement door. Yohan frowned and looked at them. Little ghosts, I'm sorry, some kind people came to save you. Looking at the hopeful eyes of these children, the leading man laughed evilly. It's a pity that you can't wait for them. I will kill you all now. Remember that you will die so quickly because of those righteous partners. Looking at the few people laughing wildly, Yihan's face was gloomy, and a large number of heaven's chains flew out, nailing them to the wall one by one. Is it funny? Since you like to laugh so much, then laugh for me. If you dare to stop, I will cut you with a knife. Yihan looked at the few people indifferently. How could the few people laugh now? They were pierced by the heaven's chain and were in so much pain that tears were about to come out. You, who are you? Facing the enemy's question, Yihan looked at the other party indifferently. Don't laugh. I saw a flash of sword light, and the right hands of several people were directly cut off, and blood splattered all over the ground. Ah! It hurts, I'm sorry, I was wrong, let me go. Laugh. Yihan had no mercy on these people. Looking at the indifferent Yihan, several people endured the pain and laughed unpleasantly, which was very weird. Haha, sir, haha, are you satisfied with this? Yes. Very satisfied, but the laughter is too ugly, which makes me very annoyed. As he said this, the king's treasure flew out several treasures and nailed several people to the wall. Since your laughter is ugly, just wait here for your blood to dry up. Yihan looked at the hopeful faces of several people and sneered, isn't that what you are like? Yihan no longer paid attention to the few people who were shouting and yelling, and directly opened the guild group. Yihan, plan ahead of schedule, start the siege. Esdeath looked at the message, opened her eyes, and waved her hand. The ice outside made a sound of breaking. The army outside gathered instantly, and Yi and others also gathered quickly. Everyone listened to the order. Ordinary people form a formation to cooperate with the soul masters, try to reduce casualties. The siege officially begins, and all those who resist will be killed, regardless of good or bad. Esdeath said coldly. Yes. Then the war begins. With Esdeath's order, a large number of soul masters rushed to the evil city at a rapid speed. Xiaolei ignored these and rushed to the city lord's mansion quickly. You should know that Yihan has a lot of titled Douluo, Gurong, Yuyuanzhen, Dian, plus the 2 brought by Jinring Su, 5 titled Douluo, who will suppress the whole battle. Along the way, as long as someone surrenders, the criminal army will appear instantly and take them to Bone Douluo and Yi. Those who have problems will be killed directly without any hesitation. Yuhan from the city lord's mansion walked out of the basement, blocked the door, and walked towards the human body experiment without hiding. Who are you? Looking at Yuhan, these evil soul masters were obviously stunned, but Yuhan would not be stunned. The treasure of the king's treasure flew out quickly and pierced the latter's head directly. Now Yuhan has a lot of doubts in his heart, and they will be solved when he reaches the destination. Boy. Although I don't know how you got in, you can't go in front. The cold old man suddenly appeared. Yuhan's pupils shrank. The identification content was very simple. Charlie, Evil Soul Master, 89th level Soul Fighter, Special Evil Energy Mix incomparable to 92nd level Soul Fighter. Yuhan was not a hesitant person. He directly pulled out the piercing Deaththorn Spear and took the initiative. Charlie's heart jumped when he saw the red spear. The next moment, the spear had pierced Charlie's heart. Just when Yuhan was relieved, Charlie put his hand on the piercing Deaththorn Spear, pulled it out with force, and threw it on the ground. There was no heart in the chest. Interesting. Really interesting, if I'm not mistaken. You should be Yuhan from the Dimension Academy who has become famous recently. Transplant your martial soul to me, will I become more powerful? Charlie's martial soul appeared as a huge toad. This was the first time Yuhan had seen such an ugly martial soul. Charlie opened his mouth and bursts of green mucus flew towards Yuhan. After all, the opponent is a titled Douluo, and the piercing Deaththorn Lance has no effect. Yuhan will not fight with the opponent head-on, and a large number of treasures rushed towards Charlie at a rapid speed. Charlie was unable to get close for a while, but facing the treasures, Charlie did not dodge at all, but directly pulled out the treasures that hide him and threw them away. What kind of monster has this Charlie been transformed into? Yuhan frowned and looked at Charlie. You know, toads don't have these characteristics. Yuhan could feel that there were other evil soul masters in the door behind Charlie who didn't know what they were doing. At this time, Yuhan could not hesitate and stretched his right hand into the halo. A strange weapon rushed out directly. Third soul skill, true name Liberation, Brahma. Cover the earth. A powerful flame burst out from Yuhan's body. In just a moment, a sky-high pillar of fire enveloped the entire Charlie, and it was endless and kept burning. Yuhan continued to supply this soul power, and the pillar of fire never went out. I am immortal. Even if it is fire. Charlie roared in pain, trying to leave the pillar of fire, but he could feel that his body was melting. Brahma. The treasure that covered the earth belonged to the little son Karna. It was originally an anti-city treasure, but Yuhan forcibly suppressed the effect, which could also consume less soul power. Karna is a special A hero in the rating, which is basically infinitely close to X. The most famous thing should be that Karna is the son of the sun god and has the blood of the sun god. The blood of the sun god brought him a powerful flame that is simply incomparable to ordinary flames. After the piercing Deaththorn Spear had no effect, Yuhan had already made up his mind to use this move. Even if he couldn't kill him, he would definitely burn him half to death. Ahem. As his soul power was exhausted, Yuhan leaned against the wall tiredly. Charlie was burned to the point that only one hand was still twitching, and the rest of his body had turned to ashes. Crack. The wooden door slowly opened, and the evil soul master inside looked outside the door carefully, and saw Yuhan sitting on the ground and Charlie who had disappeared. Kill him quickly. Let's leave directly. He and Charlie are both injured. An evil soul master said in surprise. Yuhan's expression remained unchanged. He looked at the evil soul masters indifferently. He had already sensed Zhao Lei's aura. Sure enough, Zhao Lei had already fallen down at the moment when the evil soul master made his move. The evil soul master who attacked Yuhan disappeared without a trace in an instant. Are you okay, Yuhan boy? Uncle Zhao is too slow. Kill all the people inside. Leave the test subjects alive. After Yuhan finished speaking, Zhao Lei had disappeared on the spot. There were violent screams in the room. After a while, Zhao Lei walked out slowly. They are all a bunch of trash. There are a few unconscious test subjects inside. I put them there. Well, for now, let's rest for a while and wait for Esdeath and the others to attack. Yuhan sat down cross-legged. In order to ensure that the sun's fire could burn Charlie to death, Yuhan had been squeezing his soul power. Compared with the speed of destruction of the evil soul masters in the city lord's mansion, the speed of capture outside the city was quite slow. It was not because of the strength problem, but because Jihan required that all those who were related to the evil soul masters inside be killed, and in addition to the evil soul masters, there were also a large number of slaves to be resettled. As the army advanced, Esdeath and the others also advanced slowly. Black Dog and Ling Su on the side did not dare to breathe. Although Zhao Lei had not appeared for a long time, Yu Yuanzhen, Gu Rong, and other titled Douluo who appeared from time to time were not people they could afford to offend. And they also saw the indifference of these people. When Yi said to kill, he killed them without hesitation. If he said to spare, he would knock them out and throw them behind to be taken away by the criminal army. The whole process became more and more skillful, which made Ling Su and Black Dog tremble with fear. They were also glad that they had made this deal with Yihan. Seeing this situation, Black Dog also understood that even if he had not made a deal with Yihan, Yihan would never let anyone from the evil city go. At that time, including him, it is estimated that no one would have a good end. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143, Nothing is Greater Than Sorrow. With Zhao Lei as his title Douluo, Yihan was not panicking at all. After a short rest, he walked into the so-called test site. The original restrictions had been destroyed by Zhao Lei's forced entry. As soon as he walked in, he saw corpses lying in all directions and the test subjects put aside by Zhao Lei. Yihan saw Chen Yu at a glance, the person that Tegu asked him to find. Uncle Zhao, where did this Chen Yu come from? Zhao Lei was stunned, frowned, and thought for a while and said, it seems that he was on the test bed. When I came in, they were going to run away with these test subjects. This means that Chen Yu is a test subject, but Yihan thought of Shen Feng's words and hesitated for a while. Identify. Chen Yu, an ordinary person, no martial spirit, no soul power, in a coma. Looking at the results of the game system's identification, Yihan was still a little worried. Am I really too suspicious? Uncle Zhao, go find a person named Shen Feng. If he is not killed, bring him here. If he is killed, forget it. If Yihan can't figure it out, he will go to verify it. If Shen Feng was killed, wait for He Gao to come. If He Gao can't tell, then find Yi. If it doesn't matter, then it's completely safe. Yihan walked out of the laboratory, locked the door, took some precautions, returned to the basement where the children were imprisoned, untied his protective measures, and walked down. Seeing someone coming in, the whole basement instantly became quiet. After all, Yihan had killed several people with force and nailed them with force, which gave them a lot of hope. What caught the eye were several corpses, nailed to the wall, and had died from excessive blood loss. Children, don't be afraid. The bad guys have basically been killed by us. Eat something first, and I'll take you out later. Yihan's tone was very gentle. He took out food and water from the soul guide, opened the door of the cell one by one, and sent them over. Thank you, sister. A soft voice, cautious, for fear of making Yihan unhappy. Yihan didn't mind the little girl's call, and gently rubbed the little girl's head. It's okay. When things here are over, I will take you to find your families. Those who can't find their families can go to live in Mianal City. Yihan was still very fast. He distributed the food. Some of the younger ones didn't want to eat quickly. Some of the older ones hesitated for a while but couldn't resist the temptation of food. In this prison, basically, they have no food to eat. No one knows who will be taken away next, so every time the door of the basement is opened, these children will be very scared. You are here. Zhao Lei suddenly opened the door, holding a dying man in his hand and throwing him on the ground. Zhao Lei, who was originally laughing and joking, looked at the children around him, frowned slightly, and looked at Shen Feng on the ground with some disgust. What's wrong with him? Yihan asked puzzledly. Zhao Lei is now annoyed when he sees Shen Feng. I don't know, if he wasn't dying, I would kick him twice. Yihan checked Shen Feng's body a little and found that a large amount of evil soul master energy was backfiring, and Yihan couldn't stop it at all. Seeing Yihan, Shen Feng grabbed Yihan. Save me, please. A soul power was input into Shen Feng's body, and the latter felt much better immediately. Yihan took out a photo. Look at this person. Is he your leader? This photo was the unconscious Chen Yu. Shen Feng saw this person, nodded, shook his head, and was about to say something when he died. Damn. I hate people like you who only say half of what they say. Yihan said speechlessly. In the evil city on the other side, Esdeath was advancing with a crushing momentum, sweeping all the way. Because of the existence of Yi, everyone would not let go of an evil soul master. The entire black market, the heads of the shops were caught one after another, most of them were killed, and only a part of the people who were doing business survived. A large number of slaves were also rescued. According to Yihan's explanation, the list was also obtained from these people. Facing these slaves, Esdeath calmly waved to the soldiers. One by one, the soldiers handed a dagger to the slaves. While everyone was puzzled, Esdeath said calmly, I see the will to die in some of you. I won't stop it. This dagger is my gift to you. I will bury your bodies with honor. I can only wish you happiness in your next life. We will check those who don't want to die, and try to send them back if there is no problem. Or those who are homeless can join my army. After hearing what Esdeath said, Han Feng hurriedly said, Esdeath, you are crazy. How can you let people commit suicide? Jin Ringsu on the side also frowned. When interrogating the prisoners, Jin Ringsu felt the cruelty of Esdeath. Yes. It is better to live a miserable life than to die. Living is hope. Esdeath chuckled, you two are really little girls who have never experienced war. Didn't you see that Leah, who has always been righteous, didn't stop you? Jin Ringsu wanted to say something, but a slave suddenly said loudly, I don't know what the general's name is. When Esdeath heard this, a piece of ice suddenly appeared under his feet and lifted Esdeath up. He used his soul power to amplify his voice, I am General Esdeath, the highest person in charge of the Anil City army. After Esdeath finished his introduction, something happened that Jin Ringsu could not accept. A large number of slaves knelt on the ground, put daggers on their heads, and shouted in unison, Thank you General Esdeath for your help. After that, a large number of slaves committed suicide directly, falling to the ground without any remembrance. Esdeath looked at the fallen people calmly and sighed, collect the bodies, and bury them properly when the matter is completely over. Jin Ringsu could not accept it. She didn't understand why these people could give up their lives without any scruples. I can't accept it. Jin Ringsu said a little uncomfortably. Esdeath just looked at Jin Ringsu with disdain, after all, she is just a little girl. On the other side, Leah's voice slowly sounded, they have been tortured here for several years. This is physical torture, but the most frightening thing is that their hearts are dead. I read the records. Some of them were captured after their entire families were killed. Some were even captured after being betrayed by their loved ones. The death of the heart is the beginning of the will to die. Leah sighed helplessly when she said this. She had seen many such situations when she led troops to fight. Jin Ringsu was also stunned. She didn't think so much at all. In her opinion, having a chance to be reborn, isn't it good? General, it's all taken care of. A soldier said very respectfully. Esdeath nodded, take these living slaves to the place where Senior Yu Yuan's Hun's Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family is in charge, and keep an eye on them. Since they have chosen to live, they cannot move until the end is complete. After assigning a part of the people to guard, Esdeath marched towards the city lord's mansion again. Jin Ringsu was in a daze at the moment. She still couldn't understand why these people committed suicide. In fact, it's very simple. People are social animals. Even the most lonely people will care about people they know. The families of these slaves died, and even the whole village was destroyed. It can be said that you are the only one left in the world, and all the other familiar people have died. There are always many reasons. There's more than just one reason for a dead heart. The person you love is dead, being betrayed by the person you love the most, and so on. There are too many. Instead of letting these people who are determined to die live in the world in pain and suffer torture, it is better to let them choose their own future. For these people, perhaps it is the so-called heart is dead, there is no greater sorrow than sorrow. Chapter 144 When an avalanche occurs, no snowflake is innocent. After Esdeath and the others dealt with the slave problem, they moved forward much faster. Soon, Esdeath led people to the city lord's mansion. Yihan had already stood in the secret passage waiting for them. Yihan, the person I asked you to find. Black Dog ran over excitedly when he saw Yihan. Yihan did not say anything and led Black Dog into the secret passage. Seeing this, Esdeath said calmly, you surround the city lord's mansion. No one is allowed to enter without my order. Black Dog, with excitement in his heart, followed Yihan and soon came to person. Black Dog saw a familiar face and quickly ran over to pull up Chen Yu's right arm. Looking at a clear blood mark, he completely recognized the identity of the person in front of him. Chen Yu, I'm so glad that you are okay. You, who are you? Chen Yu looked at Black Dog with a confused face. Hearing Chen Yu's words, Hegu was stunned. Then he took out a token from his chest and wiped it carefully. You should have seen this token from your father. I am your father's comrade in arms. I happened to be nearby when your parents were killed. As a result, I saw such a tragedy. Your mother fought with her last breath and asked me to find you. Yihan had been observing Chen Yu's expression. At this moment, Chen Yu looked at the token with great surprise. Yihan could feel that this expression was not fake. You are my father's comrade in arms. Chen Yu burst into tears at this moment, and threw herself on Hegu's body and cried loudly. Hegu was at a loss for a moment, and clumsily touched Chen Yu's head. Child, you have suffered all these years. Yihan quietly walked to Yi and whispered, look at this Chen Yu's soul. Yi's heart moved, and he nodded imperceptibly. After a while, Yi looked at Yihan and shook his head. Am I really overthinking? Yihan rubbed his temples and walked out a little tired. Seeing Yihan leaving, the remaining people left one after another. Esdeath, you arrange for some people to rescue the child inside. Yihan took a deep breath to get rid of the distracting thoughts in his mind, and then looked at Tang San on the side. San, let the medical staff you are in charge of treat the child. Xiao Feng, you have to work harder and take the Po Yi clan to help. Xiao Han. Tang San suddenly appeared behind Yihan, hugged Yihan, and blew in Yihan's ear. For a moment, Yihan trembled and wanted to stand up quickly. Don't move. Xiao Han, I feel that Chen Yu has a problem. Yihan, who was about to take action, was immediately angry after hearing what Tang San said. Where? Yi has seen it, and I have also seen it, and I didn't find any problems. Tang San looked at Yihan, whose face was slightly red, and quickly changed his position and lay in Yihan's arms. Where? I don't know, it's just that the feeling belongs to an elf. This child named Chen Yu has a feeling of being too simple. Hearing this, Yihan's brain began to think about Chen Yu's previous performance. Although it seemed that there was nothing wrong, as a person who was captured and tortured by an evil soul master for decades, it was a bit too strange. A group of people have been experimenting on you for decades, and the first reaction is grievance, not hatred. Thinking of this, Yihan decided to trust his own and Tang San's feelings, and quickly gathered a few people. Since there is a special situation, we must try it out. If there is no result this time, it's over. Yihan calmly explained the matter. Dongtang asked in confusion, my dear friend, you said that even Yoruichi can't find out. How can we find out? Take advantage of the situation, deal with things quickly starting from today, and then we will directly part ways with Black Dog, and then secretly follow Black Dog for a while. Yihan said with a smile. With a plan, the other few people didn't waste any time and quickly went to deal with the work. Tang San and Hanzhou Qid were responsible for the treatment and settlement of the children. Esdeath and Yoruichi continued to eliminate the remnants of the evil city, and Leah and Dongtang were responsible for the safety of these people. Xiao Han, what are you going to do with these children? Leah looked at the children who were covered in injuries and asked with some heartache for a while. Yihan also sighed. I have already told Yi to start investigating the birthplaces of these children, whether they have relatives, and whether their relatives are willing to recognize the children. If they are willing, give them some money to let them go back and live a good life. If they have no relatives or their relatives are unwilling, they can stay in Anil City. Anyway, we still have an academy in Anil City. Seeing that Yihan was not going to ignore it, Leah smiled. In that case, why not let them join the city defense army? I will teach them well. No. Before Yihan could speak, Esdeath and Yi said in unison. Why? Yihan looked at the two of them in confusion. Yi said indifferently, these children have no parents. We saved them. Their loyalty to Anil City is basically at its peak. Let alone the criminal army, they can even be trained to be dead soldiers. That's right, why do some good seedlings join the city defense army? Why not come to my army? Esdeath said bluntly. Yihan now understands that this is a robbery. He shook his head helplessly and said with a smile, don't argue, you can go and see if there are any suitable slaves. I plan to let these children join the academy first, and they can choose by themselves after graduation. Since Yuhan has spoken, the few people will not argue about this matter anymore. By the way, Esdeath, Yi, have you found what I asked you to find? Yuhan asked with a gloomy look. Hearing this, the two took out a book with a lot of names and some records, which is commonly known as an account book. Friend Yuhan, what are you going to do? Ning Fengzi, who had been silent, suddenly interrupted. You know, no matter whether it is the Xiandao Empire or the Xingluo Empire, even if they see this account book, they will eventually make a big deal out of a small matter. What does Sect Master Ning mean? Yuhan asked playfully. Ning Fengzi was stunned, and then said helplessly, I mean to make a big deal out of a small matter. After all, if it really gets out of hand, the two empires will definitely be in turmoil. Dad? Ning Rongrong looked at Ning Fengzi in disbelief. How can you indulge these people? I haven't finished yet. Although I plan to get rid of it hastily, after all, the initiative of this matter is not mine, but friend Yuhan. I don't think friend Yuhan is going to let it go. Ning Fengzi comforted Ning Rongrong helplessly and looked at Yuhan on the side. Ha ha ha. Sect Master Ning is really smart. Since he is involved, it is unreasonable to want to get away so safely. I will not hand over this account book directly to the royal family, but force the royal family to do it. Yuhan said indifferently. Ning Fengzi hesitated. Friend Yuhan, although there is nothing wrong with what you did, there are too many officials involved. Please think twice before you act. Why think twice? If you can't do it, give it to me. We will come from the spirit hall. Jin Ringsu's eyes flashed, and she looked at the account book in Yuhan's hand with a fiery gaze. Yuhan rolled his eyes and flicked Jin Ringsu's head in annoyance. Haha, you think about nothing all day long. Do you think it's possible? But it does require your identity to cooperate, you know. Humph. This girl put aside the past and came to help you, but you didn't give me any benefits, didn't let me see the account book, and flicked me, and finally asked me to cooperate. Jin Ringsu said angrily. Just say whether you will help or not. After this time, we are even, and it will be either you or me when we meet in the future. Jin Ringsu said with a complicated expression. Yuhan nodded and looked at Ning Fengzi on the other side. Master Ning, there is no need to say more. I will investigate the extent of these people's involvement. If they just bought some things that are not available on the black market, forget it. If they really spend money to buy slaves or evil soul masters, I will not be soft-hearted. You must know that when there is an avalanche, no snowflake is innocent. Ning Fengzi also saw that Yuhan was determined to do this. Not catching them all in one fell swoop was already a great respect. He sighed. In that case, thank you very much, little friend Yuhan. Chapter 145, Historical City, Evil City. It took a whole week for Yuhan and his companions to clear the evil city. During this period, the evil city was stained with blood. It would be a lie to say that he was not touched, but Yuhan did not regret it. It was one thing to do something or not, and it was another thing to dare to do it. Yuhan claimed that he was not a good person, and he would not care about how others would evaluate this matter in the future. Most of the living people were selected by Yuhan, and those with problems were all killed. Those without problems were also asked if they knew the location of their home. Those who were willing to go back went, and those who were unwilling to go back were mostly absorbed by Esdeath in the end. Only a small number of agile attack spirit masters were absorbed by Yi, and Leo was not recruited. Yuhan had no knowledge of some of the contraband on the continent, so he could only ask Ning Fengzi and Jin Ringsu for advice. Master Ning, Jin Ringsu, please take a look. This is the list of contraband. How to destroy these things. Are there any special circumstances to pay attention to? Ning Fengzi was curious about why Yuhan was looking for him at first, but after seeing the list, he understood it. He carefully checked it and wrote down the detailed process stroke by stroke. Jin Ringsu was the same. Yuhan also played a conspiracy. Jin Ringsu belonged to the Spirit Hall, Ning Fengzi belonged to the Seven Treasures Glazed sect. The two of them didn't get along well. At this time, if there were differences in the lists written by the two, it was naturally that one of them wanted to keep the special contraband. Okay, basically there's nothing to pay attention to. Only these few need to be specially cleaned. If they are burned, the gas produced will also be harmful. Ning Fengzi said with a smile. Jin Ringsu also said calmly, it's almost the same here. It's best to get rid of all these harmful things. These evil soul masters are really idle every day. They can find contraband from decades ago. Yuhan nodded to express his gratitude, and took the 2 lists to start cleaning up the items. Zio-han, the leader of Yelao wants to see you. Just when Yuhan asked someone to explain the precautions, Yi suddenly appeared beside him. Yelao? Is it the killer organization? Yuhan asked uncertainly. Yi nodded, yes. Yuhan checked Yulu and found no problems. Although there were killers inside, they were not tainted with the evil spirit masters. They just took advantage of the convenience of the evil city. Yuhan also read the commission records of Yilu. They were not targeting ordinary people. Yuhan did not intend to say anything. The profession of spirit master was high risk. Although the existence of killers was not recognized, there were still people who hired them. Originally, Yuhan was going to let the people of Yilu go after the matter was over. I'm Yuhan. I wonder why you called me here. Yuhan looked at the man in front of him who was covered in wounds but smiling brightly, and said, if you are not used to smiling, you don't have to smile. The man in front of him really put away his smile and coughed. Hello, Boss Yuhan. My original name is Too Ugly, and people on the street call me Gideo. This time I came to Boss Yuhan to discuss something with you. Yuhan asked curiously, to tell you the truth, I don't plan to do anything to your Yelao. I will let you go after this is over. If you still have things to do, you can tell me. Gideo was obviously stunned, and asked uncertainly, Boss Yuhan, don't you hate our business? It doesn't matter. Killing people is your ability, and being retaliated is also someone else's ability. As long as you don't provoke me, I will always maintain an indifferent attitude. Yuhan said casually. Seeing this, Ghostblade was delighted. In that case, Yuhan, I plan to lead our night tower to join Anil City. What do you think? Yuhan frowned and looked at Ghostblade seriously. To be honest, although I don't care about the assassin organization is not glorious after all, and Anil City doesn't need the assassin organization. Ghostblade hurriedly explained after hearing this, that's natural. I'm not saying to join his assassin organization. In fact, in recent years, people are not very interested in being assassins. Some of those who are still assassins are basically seeking excitement. I also saw that there are many professions written on the enrollment of your Anil City, and there is also a mercenary union. Recently, I also went to a nearby city to learn about it. I think it is very suitable for us. Yuhan now understood that Ghostblade was planning to quit the assassin industry. In that case, of course, Anil City is not an unkind city. Mercenary unions can be registered anywhere. As long as the city has one, it can be used. If you want to join a special organization, such as the criminal army, you must pass the loyalty test. Yuhan said with a smile. Seeing this, Ghostblade said quickly, thank you very much. As a killer organization, Ghostblade has offended many people over the years. Now that they are old, they want to find a place to retire. Anil City is definitely the best place. In Anil City, large-scale battles are not allowed. This is a rule. So far, anyone who has committed a crime has not had a good ending. In addition, Anil City has set up a very humane arena to facilitate the settlement of personal grievances. Even ordinary people can make an appointment to fight. In addition to the mercenary union and pharmacists, the most famous thing about Anil City during this period is the hospital that belongs to Anil City, which is composed of a large number of healing spirit masters. The price of seeing a doctor for a spirit master is not low, but the price for ordinary people is very low. This is also what Yuhan did on purpose. After all, in Douluo Continent, ordinary people earn too little. Yuhan does not think that Anil City must be composed of spirit masters. Some of the ordinary people are also Yuhan's original place, Baoshi village. Yuhan took the people in Anil City to live, which can be regarded as protection and gratitude for them. After solving the problem of Yelao, Yuhan focused on destroying the contraband. The speed was not fast. It took 2 days to completely clean it up. The main reason was that some special contraband needed special treatment. How is the situation? Yuhan asked while sitting in the first seat. The entire evil city has basically been cleaned up, and the evil soul masters have also been cleaned up. Yu reported all the situations of this battle in detail. Yuhan was so sleepy after listening to it. Finally, he saw the end of Yu and hurriedly said, okay, we will leave here in the afternoon, and the rest will be handed over to Senior Ditian. Yuhan brought Ditian here not to be brave, but because he really needed it. Yuhan dared to be sure that there must be some residues in the entire evil city that had not been cleaned up. If he looked carefully for a month or two, he could still find it. But this would be too time-consuming. In this case, he would not look for it. Most of the people who were hiding and dared not come out were evil soul masters. Since they did not want to come out, they would be buried with the evil city. A large number of troops withdrew from the interior of the evil city. Esdeath and others counted them one by one. After confirming that they were correct, Douluo directly blocked the entire evil city with poison gas. Everyone, move forward, at least 10 kilometers away from the evil city. Yuhan shouted loudly. Also, Senior Dion, please check the signal. What exactly are you going to do? Hegu came to Yuhan cautiously and asked. Yuhan glanced at Lengsu and Chen Yu beside Hegu, and asked with a smile, if you want to know, just wait, I'll take you to see a fireworks display. Ah. Hegu and the other two looked puzzled, but they continued to move forward with Yuhan obediently. Seeing that the distance was about the same, Yuhan put the flare into the air. Seeing this, Dion opened his eyes, and his aura burst out. The powerful soul power instantly turned Dion into a black dragon that covered the sky. The powerful soul power condensed in Dion's mouth, and a violent explosion enveloped the entire evil city. That's right, Yuhan was going to remove the evil city from the map, completely wipe it out, and make it a thing of the past. Even if it was 10 kilometers away, the powerful air waves caused by the explosion were still rushing in, and the heat was even more uncomfortable. Lengsu and Hegu swallowed their saliva and looked at Yuhan in horror. Is this a firework? Are you kidding me? However, Yuhan noticed that Chen Yu trembled. He was trembling in a confused state. This was unreasonable, but Yuhan did not say much. Hegu, is Lengsu coming to Anil City? Hegu and Lengsu looked at each other. Wait a minute. I will take this brat to worship his parents first. After all, it has been so long. I have finally fulfilled my promise. Yuhan shrugged. Okay. If you want to come, tell me your name. I welcome you anytime. Goodbye. Goodbye. In addition, thank you for this time. Hegu wanted to say more sensational words, but the only word he said was thank you. Yuhan waved his hand and slowly left with the army. Chapter 146 I hate being threatened. The two sides parted ways and soon disappeared from sight. Hegu, it's useless for you to keep me here. If it weren't for you, I would have gone to Anil City just now. Lengsu said unhappily. Hegu smiled awkwardly. Just send the Buddha to the west. I will remember you. When I take this kid to worship his parents, we will go to Anil City to live together. The three of them were not slow along the way, but they didn't notice that there were a bunch of people following them. Ziohan. Is your premonition with Tang San really accurate? This Chen Yu looks good no matter how you look at it. Zhao Lei kept scanning the well-behaved Chen Yu, looking at the two people with some doubts. Tisk. If you don't want to come, you can follow the main group. Yuhan looked at Zhao Lei with disdain. This guy just wanted to watch the fun. No. Am I that kind of person? Don't worry, your Uncle Zhao will protect you. Zhao Lei patted his chest and said confidently. Yuhan looked at Dion beside him, then looked at Zhao Lei, expressed his understanding of his shamelessness, sighed helplessly and ignored Zhao Lei. This followed until the night. Black Dog was on guard while Lengsu was sleeping. A black gas slowly emerged from Chen Yu's body, spreading a little bit at a slow but steady speed, wrapping around Lengsu's body bit by bit. Huh? What is this? Lengsu, who felt something, looked at the black gas around him and became alert. His martial spirit appeared instantly, but he found that the more he struggled, the tighter he was tied. What's going on? Black Dog heard Lengsu's voice and ran over quickly. Looking at Lengsu who was entangled by the black gas, he quickly wanted to save Lengsu, but an unbelievable figure blocked him. Then Black Dog was kicked away directly. Chen Yu was no longer obedient and innocent at this moment. Originally, I didn't plan to kill you. But who told you to go to that Anil City? You are an evil soul master. Are you worthy of your parents like this? Black Dog's eyes widened and roared. Chen Yu looked at the hysterical Black Dog and smiled casually. Yes. Are you surprised? They are not my parents. Were you pretending before? Black Dog asked somewhat frustrated. Chen Yu touched his hair and tidied it up. It shouldn't be considered as pretending. After all, that is indeed the first personality of this child. The desperate Black Dog seemed to have found comfort and looked at Chen Yu expectantly. What do you mean? What do you mean? It's very simple. This child is simply a natural test subject. He is compatible with multiple martial spirits and his soul power is not low. During the experiment, A second personality appeared. I couldn't invade the main personality, so I invaded his second personality. Thanks to this second personality, I escaped the pursuit of those monsters. And you will die. It's all your fault. Why do you want to go to Anal City? Isn't it better to find a place to live outside? You have to go to the monster's territory. When will I be able to complete my experiment there? At this moment, Chen Yu's face was distorted and his tone became hysterical. The black dog looked at Chen Yu in despair. Just when Chen Yu was about to take action, a round of applause rang out. Pa pa pa. It's really wonderful. Yihan walked out slowly. Chen Yu's pupils shrank. He was too familiar with Yihan's face, not to mention the people around him. The paradise he spent decades building was destroyed by these people in less than half a month. In particular, the entire evil city was razed to the ground. This was why Chen Yu did not come out immediately after Yihan and others left. Yihan and his people were too cruel, and they really scared Chen Yu. Yihan. Leng Su and Hegu showed a very excited expression when they saw Yihan. Looking at Yihan who was walking towards him step by step, Chen Yu subconsciously took a step back. Don't come over. If you kill me, Chen Yu will die, and Hegu will die too. No wonder I can't find you. It turns out that you are hiding in Chen Yu's second personality. What a dirty soul. Yi said with some disgust. At first, she really thought that Yihan made a wrong judgment, but now Chen Yu's situation is completely fine. So what if they found out? What can you do to me? If you kill my main personality, Chen Yu, you will die, and the black dog connected to the blood contract will not survive. Why don't you just let me go? I promise not to cause trouble near you. Although Chen Yu said it very tough, he was really scared. Yihan ignored the safety of these two people and took action directly. Tisk tisk. Yihan did have a headache. After all, Chen Yu's situation was indeed complicated. The simplest way was naturally to kill Chen Yu and put an end to it, but the black dog also helped him a lot in the evil city, and he was not a heartless person. Yi, do you have a way to kill his second personality? Yihan asked a little irritably. Yi shook his head. This soul is basically integrated with Chen Yu. If I kill this soul violently, Chen Yu may go crazy. It's better to kill Chen Yu directly. Yihan killed him. Hegu suddenly said, he deserves to die. I will go down to apologize to his parents when I die. Are you crazy? Chen Yu looked at Yihan with murderous eyes, and his whole body trembled. How can you say that? Shut up, you are not Chen Yu, you are an evil soul master. Chen Yu is no longer pure now, and he doesn't want to be an unforgivable bastard. Hegu roared. You. Chen Yu's face suddenly changed. Uncle, what happened? Hegu's pupils shrank. Chen Yu looked like this. He really didn't know what to say for a while. His eyes were red, and he looked at Yihan. Please. Yihan hated this feeling. At this moment, Yihan was threatened by others and had no way to deal with it. Boy, you have a good talent. I saved you this time. Remember to come to my Anal City to shine. Yihan said casually. Chen Yu looked puzzled, while Hegu looked pleasantly surprised. Do you have a solution? Yihan's hand was grabbed by Tang San from behind. Ziohan. Don't do it. Yes, I also think it's unnecessary to do such a thing for an insignificant person. Esdeath and Yoruichi also grabbed Yihan, hoping that he would change his mind. Brother Han, let's forget it. My dear friend, I support you no matter what you do. Leah looked conflicted. If it were her, she would have saved him without hesitation, but this involved Yihan. Yihan shook his head. I'm not helping Black Dog, but I hate being threatened. That's what happened to Thorny Turtle in the Star Dao Great Forest. I killed him, a titled Douluo, not to mention the soul of an evil soul master. The soul power in Yihan's body kept disappearing, and the third soul ring on his body lit up. Third soul skill, true name release, direct death magic eye. The direct death magic eye belongs to the rainbow level magic eye of Ryuji Shiki, connecting the roots. There are only dots and lines in the eyes of the direct death magic eye. If you touch the line, it will break, and if you touch the point, it will die. It is a top-level causal law magic eye. After Yihan's eyes turned into direct death magic eyes, Chen Yu turned into an evil look again, looking at Yihan in horror, and the voice in his heart told him to run, otherwise he would die. And his body was the same as he thought, turning around with black air wrapped around himself, and was about to leave. But in just a moment, Yihan had appeared in front of him, and a dagger came from nowhere and swung it down. Obviously nothing changed. But Chen Yu, who was about to speak, found that he couldn't speak, and then found that he was being rejected by the world and being erased. Yuhan also closed the death eyes. Instantly, a dizzy feeling surged into his brain. His eyes bled uncontrollably, and he subconsciously fell to the ground. Tang San quickly triggered the effect of the fourth bullet, but was horrified to find that his soul power was basically exhausted. Since Yuhan's eyes had just stopped bleeding, there was no sign of recovery of his soul power. Don't worry, this is enough, Tang San. After all, the death eyes are top-level magic eyes. Although they were only open for a few seconds, the load is still very large. Just take a break for a while. Yuhan softly comforted the people who gathered around. You really like to mess around. Tang San touched Yuhan's face helplessly. Nothing, I just hate being threatened like this. Thank you. From now on, I, Black Dog, will give you this life. Black Dog knelt on the ground and kowtowed heavily. After I take Chen Yu to worship, I will take him to find Anil City. Yuhan nodded tiredly. Whatever you say. I'm tired, let's take a break and prepare to go back to Anil City. There are still Xingluo Empire and Xiandao Empire to deal with. Chapter 147 Conspiracy. The destruction of the evil city was earth-shattering, but the people who knew that the evil city was completely destroyed definitely did not include the two empires. After all, the evil city had been abandoned by the two empires for many years. Even if it disappeared from the territory, no one would care except those who were related to the evil soul master. It took a whole month for Yuhan and others to finally settle down. A large number of children went to the Four Elements Academy to test their soul power and martial soul. Children with the talent to become soul masters went to the Four Elements Academy to study, and those without the talent to become soul masters were sent to Esdeath. It was also a place for them to settle down, and for a while, Anil City gradually got on the right track. Ziohan. I have completely arranged the things you arranged. Do you want to take a look? Yi took out a lot of information and put it in front of Yuhan. Yuhan now had a headache when he saw the information and intelligence, and slowly pushed the information back. I believe in Sister Yi's ability, so there is no need to look at these. Since you are ready, let's start the action. It doesn't matter if the Xiandao Empire has Zhu King's cooperation, but the Xingluo Empire is a bit troublesome. Yi asked calmly. Yuhan smiled and said calmly, your criminal army will be in charge of the Xiandao Empire. You can assign one person to Uncle Zhao and the others in the Xingluo Empire. I will let the title Douluo do this. I don't believe it will be discovered. After all matters were agreed upon, the sky gradually became dark. In just one night, something happened that shocked the entire continent. A dead man was nailed to the door of a minister in the Xiandao Imperial City. His crime was written on the side, and it was clearly written how much money the minister had paid and what he was asked to do. The dead man nailed was the Dark Walker who sold slaves at the beginning, the human trafficker. In just one night, a large number of ministers in the two empires were nailed to the door of human traffickers, and each crime was clearly written, and evidence was attached. I didn't expect Minister Charles to be such a person. I always thought he was a good person. I didn't believe my neighbor at first. He told me that Minister Charles had captured his daughter. I didn't expect it to be true. The Empire must give us an explanation for this kind of thing. I heard that there are things in front of the homes of many ministers in other places. Yes, we must give us an explanation. A large number of civilians and civilian soul masters gathered in Xiandao Imperial City, and they have already formed groups. There are also some civilians who have never been clear about the situation. They originally thought that their daughters were just captured by thieves, but now they are clear. This matter has become a big deal. A large number of civilian soul masters looked at these crimes, and even some of their family members were captured at the beginning, and their eyes were red. The more stable ones knelt in front of the palace of Xiandao Imperial City, and the more extreme ones were already protesting in the streets. As the number of people increased, the protest team became larger. The entire Xiandao Empire was completely out of control for a while. The appearance of a large number of troops not only failed to suppress it, but also aroused public anger. They thought that the Xiandao Empire was covering up something. The reason why the Xiandao Empire was able to do so smoothly was because Jinring Su gave him the deployment map of the patrol army. After all, the Xingluo Empire was a title Douluo and would not be discovered. Bang! Have you found out? Who did these things last night? Emperor Zuyi stood up and roared loudly. The soldiers and ministers below lowered their heads and dared not speak. Zhu King on the side naturally knew in his heart that he would not betray Yi Han. The current situation was what he wanted to see. Father, I think it is not to worry about who did these things now, but to stabilize the people's hearts. Now it is not just the people in the Xiandao Imperial City who are panicking. I heard that there are such situations in nearby cities. If it is not handled properly, I am afraid that our Xiandao Empire will be in turmoil. Zhu King said seriously. Emperor Zhu Yi also knew this truth, but he was a little angry. The dignified Xiandao Empire was so rampant in one night, and no one found it. Your Highness the Crown Prince is right. Please make a decision, Your Majesty. The old minister on the side also stood up and said. Emperor Zhu Yi shouted angrily, don't I know? You are asking me to solve them one by one. Come on. Tell me how to solve them. I think it is better to cut a Gordian knot and behead these people directly. On the one hand, it can solve the people's grievances, and on the other hand, it can show your benevolence. The person who said this was an old minister with a low sense of presence. These were naturally given to him by Zhu King. There are some things that Zhu King is not suitable to say, but it does not mean that others cannot say them. Isn't this a bit too cruel? You know, if you do this, 7 or 8 out of 10 of the entire Xiandao Imperial City will be destroyed, not to mention that it is not just Xiandao Imperial City. The person who opposed it immediately stood up and said. In fact, Emperor Zhu Yi was also considering whether it was worth it. Prince, what do you think? Emperor Zhu Yi looked at his most promising son. Zhu King said gently, I think we should make a prompt decision at this moment, but in order to prevent unrest in the empire, we can temporarily promote some people to replace these people. After stabilization, we will consider whether it is necessary to replace them. This is what I ordered people to sort out after I knew what happened. Time is short, please take a look, Father. This is exactly what Zhu King's purpose is. Most of these ministers were die-hard fans of the Xiandao Empire. It's just the opportunity to let his people take the position. This is also the result of Zhu King and Yi Han's discussion. The two of them benefit each other and owe nothing to each other. Emperor Zhu Yi took a deep look at his son, took the list and looked at it carefully. It was recorded in great detail. Emperor Zhu Yi didn't care that Zhu King wanted to create his own team. After all, he was not young anymore. When he abdicated, the throne would still belong to Zhu King. But Emperor Zhu Yi never thought that Zhu King had been replaced. I will find someone to check this list, and pass down the order to arrest all the offenders, whether they are important officials in the court or their families. Once the list is verified, kill them all. To appease the public anger. Emperor Zhu Yi must be a ruthless person to be able to reach the position of emperor. Once he decides to do it, he will not show any mercy. The same is true for the Xingluo Empire on the other side. Even the emperor of the Xingluo Empire is not as indecisive as the Xiandao Empire. When something happens, he will arrest everyone and prepare to kill them directly in front of everyone. This is also the result Yi Han needs. If this list was only handed to the emperors of the two empires, Yi Han dared to guarantee that this matter would definitely be hastily dealt with. In the end, only 2 scapegoats with low official positions were arrested, and the matter was finally left unresolved. Now Yi Han has aroused public anger. Yi Han, who has read the history of 5,000 years, knows very well that the dynasties that were overthrown in history all started with the uprising of the common people. As the saying goes, the people are water and the king is a boat. Water can carry a boat but can also overturn it. This is the truth. This is an open plot, a tangible plot of the two empires, but they have to follow Yi Han's steps. After all, the things involved are too extensive. Xiao Han, this is a letter from Zhu King. Yi handed the letter to Yi Han. Opening the letter, Yi Han smiled. The matter has been basically determined. While the empire's personnel are being arrested on a large scale, notify the Minci clan to spread the intelligence network and notify Dongtan to start developing the mercenary union. Zhu King obtained the quota of personnel in the court, and Yi Han naturally had his own purpose. The first was that the leaders of the empire were arrested on a large scale, and it was the most appropriate time to place intelligence personnel. The second was that the various cities, the Spirit Hall, and the two empires were intentionally or unintentionally suppressing the mercenary union, but the Spirit Hall was more extreme. Taking this opportunity, it was a rare opportunity to stabilize the mercenary unions in various cities. This third point is naturally for the few justices in my heart. It can also be regarded as giving justice to the slaves in an evil city. Chapter 148 Busy People. More than half a month has passed since the incident in the Evil City. Under the circumstances of the Xiandao Empire and the Xingluo Empire, a large number of ministers were killed, and the civilians also got the results they wanted for a while. Naturally, they would not continue to make trouble. A large number of people were appeased, and there was no chaos during the period, which also made Emperor Zuyi feel relieved. The initiator of the incident is now constantly training in the Dimension Academy, which is different from usual. There were only 7 students in the original Dimension Academy. Now, there are a few more followers behind Yihan, who are very diligent in training together. There are reasons for this situation. One is that the elders in the family repeatedly reminded him, and the other is that Yihan said that except for the auxiliary spirit masters, there will be a battle with the 4 Elements Academy every month. If you lose, you will be demoted to the 4 Elements Academy for a period of time, and the original position will be replaced by the challenger. This rule is too much. These little guys don't want to lose face. If they are admitted to the Dimension Academy, it would be too embarrassing if they are accidentally eliminated to the 4 Elements Academy. Of course, Yihan did not condemn her with one blow. After all, there are indeed some geniuses who work hard. If such special talents really appear, Yihan will naturally give them a break. Brother Han, come here. Yihan, who was practicing hard, suddenly heard Ben Tiaofen calling him and walked over directly. What's the matter? It's like this. I have adjusted Guaryuo's body during this period of time. I found a very serious problem. Guaryuo's martial spirit does not seem to belong to her. This martial spirit is very incompatible with her. This situation is not only for her, but also for some of those children. Ben Tiaofeng said seriously. Yihan also understood where the problem was, and quickly sent the original experimental data to Ben Tiaofeng. Xiaofeng, see if these can help. I will go to see Guaryuo. Entering the hospital, Yihan found that Guaryuo's face had basically no scars, and her eyes had returned to normal. Now she is not as silent as she was at the beginning. Seeing the people coming, Guaryuo ran over quickly with her little legs. Sister Feng, Lord Yihan. Yihan touched Guaryuo's little head. Little girl, have you recovered well recently? It seems that you will be able to return to the academy to study in a while. Lord Yihan, I don't know about the evil soul masters. Guaryuo asked with courage. Yihan naturally knew what Guaryuo wanted to ask, and explained directly, don't worry, the evil soul master's base camp was destroyed by me. According to some information inside, I also asked you to check it out. I will definitely eradicate them completely. Yes. Thank you Lord Yihan. Guaryuo sincerely thanked Yihan. In response, Yihan shook his head, no need, evil soul masters are not good guys. It's okay if I didn't see them before, but now I will not be soft-hearted if I see them. After chatting for a while, Yihan found that Guaryuo was basically fine at the moment, and said something to Hanzhou Feng, and left. Now the most idle person in the whole Anil City should be Yihan. Although Esdeath and others are not here, they are still in the guild group to let Yihan practice all the time. After all, Yihan is their upper limit. As for Esdeath, because a large number of people joined, the number of troops expanded rapidly, so it was necessary to reorganize and retrain. As a responsible general, Esdeath naturally did it himself. The result is that the army blindly worships Esdeath. This method made Yihan call him a good guy. If it were in Azira, he would definitely be the leader of a pyramid scheme. Because the number of people in Anil City has increased, and there are a large number of outsiders, the workload of the city defense army has increased dramatically. After all, where there are people, there are fights. However, they are all quarrels caused by trivial matters. Leah is kind-hearted and wants to persuade them, but it's a pity that King Arthur doesn't understand people's hearts. It's just that the more you persuade, the busier it is. This is also one of the reasons why the workload of his subordinates has increased. Unfortunately, Leah still repeats such things every day. All of Leah's capable subordinates reported to Yihan, and Yihan also talked to Leah in a very obscure way, but in the end it seemed to have the opposite effect. Leah misunderstood him and became more helpful. Compared with these two people, Yi has never been idle. Although the evil city has become history, Yihan still remembers the existence of Sadiq. Walking in various cities to catch children, Yi has been tracking down the whereabouts of these people except for training the newly joined criminal army. Dongtang is also not idle, or in a sense, although Dongtang looks big and strong, he is very smart and even very careful. Taking advantage of the handover between the officials of the Xiandao Empire and the Xingluo Empire, the mercenary union made a name for itself in various cities. A large number of soul masters registered as mercenaries, and even ordinary people could go there to issue tasks. The mercenary union was in the limelight for a while, and it controlled the two territories of the Xiandao Empire and the Xingluo Empire. Such a huge situation could not be stopped after the two empires were completely settled. Although they were not happy about this situation, they could only swallow their anger. After all, the emergence of the mercenary union did not affect the imperial power. As for the remaining Tang San and Hanzhou Feng, the hospital was overcrowded at the moment because of the large number of children and slaves. These people were tortured by the evil soul masters, which caused the two to be busy from morning to night every day. Among them, the Po clan cooperated with Tang San and Hanzhou Feng for treatment, and was responsible for security and stability. The Min clan cooperated with Yu's criminal army to establish intelligence networks in various places. The Yu clan was not idle either. A large number of people moved into Anil City. How could there be no houses? This could only trouble the Yu clan. Yi Han looked around the entire Anil City to determine his target, the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, who were also idle. Ha ha ha. Xian, notify me when you come. Yu Yuanzhan was in great spirits at the moment and said with a big laugh. Yi Han rolled his eyes. Come on. I just saw that you were as bored as I am, so I came here to play. Last time I saw some pretty girls in your family. By the way, don't tell Esdeath and the others. Oh, well. I'm very busy. The people in my family are busy too. Yi Han, stop talking and go back. Yu Yuanzhan hinted at Yi Han frantically with his eyes. Unfortunately, Yi Han was exhausted physically and mentally. He stretched lazily and said, What are you busy with? You are not an idle person like me. I don't really want your family's young lady. I'm just joking. Don't be nervous. And Chief Yu, are your eyes uncomfortable? Yu Yuanzhan exclaimed, Wow. Seeing that Yi Han didn't react, Yu Yuanzhan said with an expression of watching a good show, I am really busy. Recently, because of the lightning ability of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family in close combat, I am assisting the army in training. Assisting the army. That's good. Hiss, why is it so cold in your Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family in July and August? Is it because the mansion is not facing south? Yi Han touched his body and suddenly froze. Wait, what did you say to assist? Yu Yuanzhan said with a smile, assisting the army. Ahem, so. Then Senior Yu Yuanzhan will be busy first, and I'll take my leave. After Yi Han finished speaking, he turned around and ran to the door. It's not advisable to stay here for long. Unfortunately, as soon as he went out, he saw Esdeath, who was emitting cold air. Oh, what a coincidence. Guess when I was here? Esdeath narrowed her eyes slightly and said with a smile. Yi Han's hair stood on end, and he immediately stood up with a frustrated expression. I think I can explain it. A ray of ice suddenly burst out, and Yi Han subconsciously broke it directly. The next moment, seeing Esdeath's expression, Yi Han knew that he was finished. Since you dare to fight back, you don't love me anymore. No, I didn't fight back. Yi Han defended himself feebly, and in his heart he was madly complaining, who taught this to Esdeath? Looking at Esdeath's smile, Yi Han stretched out his hands. Okay, don't hit me in the face. Humph. An icicle sent Yi Han into the air. For a moment, everyone in Anil City saw Yi Han standing on it. Esdeath's voice slowly sounded, practice on it for me. As for finding the young lady, when I go back tonight, you can explain it to us. No. I didn't, it was just a joke. Yi Han wanted to jump down, but Esdeath said calmly, if you dare to come down before this ice melts, he. Seeing Esdeath walking away, and then looking at Yu Yuanzhan and the people of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family who were laughing, Yi Han glared at them unhappily. What are you looking at, handsome guy? Today I will be on top of the world, overlooking all the mountains. What do you know? Yi Han roared unhappily. Yes, yes, yes. I won't disturb Miss Yi from practicing. You wait, old man. Yi Han heard Yu Yuanzhan calling him beautiful and was about to leave, but then he thought of Esdeath and decided that it's never too late for a gentleman to take revenge. Seeing that everyone had left, Yi Han could only sit down helplessly and start practicing. Chapter 149, Far North, Moan City. In the northernmost part of the entire continent, there is a city covered with heavy snow. If you look at it from a distance, it is very beautiful. This is the extreme north. Time has passed quietly for more than a year, and the situation in the entire Douluo Continent has not been disturbed for a long time. The only change is Anil City, where Yihan and others are located. Basically, all the potions you want to obtain are produced here. Yihan also built an auction house in Anil City. When you are short of money, you can hold a potion auction in the city. And because a large number of forces gathered in Anil City, Lia's city defense army and Yi's criminal army were also displayed in front of everyone. The powerful city defense army and the weird criminal army are still enough to impact these forces. For a time, Anil City's status in Douluo Continent became very important. It was called the four major forces together with the Wuhan Hall and the two empires. The two empires are because of their vast land and large population. Wuhan Hall and Anil City have only one main city, but like Wuhan Hall, each city has a branch of Wuhan Hall, and each city also has a mercenary union. The situation calmed down, and Yihan was also thinking about the next step. The first point was the inheritance of the throne. The easiest one to obtain must be the Shura God inside the Killing City. However, Yihan did not plan to enter the Killing City. The Killing God domain sounded really good, but anyone who entered would be marked by the Shura God. Yihan did not hope to inherit the throne, but to break through the realm of the gods and reach the height of the throne. Since he was not going to the Killing City, Yihan would not be idle. The first thing was to improve his soul power level. After a year, he finally broke through the Soul Sect and entered the Soul Emperor. With the help of Dion, Yihan and others basically obtained soul rings and soul bones without any injuries. Among them, only Yi still converted the soul bones into soul power, and the others gladly accepted the abilities brought by the soul bones. Secondly, it is the place where Yihan is now, the far north. Located in the northernmost part of Douluo Continent, it is extremely cold and very dangerous, and is known as a human-restricted area. Yihan had only read the novels of Douluo. He had only heard of the far north where the peerless Tang sect appeared. He only knew that there were 3 overlords of the far north, and the strength of the Snow Emperor among them might not be inferior to that of the Beast God Emperor Tian. This was the first purpose of Yihan coming here. The second purpose was the current far north, which had basically not been developed by anyone. It was basically in its original state. Even if a soul master entered, he would only wander around the periphery. Generally, there would be treasures in such places, and Yihan was also planning to try his luck. It's really cold here. Benjo Feng rubbed his hands and exhaled a long breath as he spoke. The others nodded in agreement, except for 2 people. The weather and climate here are really good. Why didn't Xiao Han choose this place when he chose his base? Esdeath said with a smile. The first person was naturally Esdeath, who had an ice elemental martial spirit, and the other was Dong Tang, who is now shirtless. Training here will definitely improve, dear friend. Do you want to try it? Yihan sighed speechlessly. Forget it, we're going to enter the city in a while, the first city in the far north, called Moan City. You should put on your clothes to avoid being treated as a pervert by others. Gather some information after entering. It was very smooth to enter Moan City. Except for ordinary people living in the far north, other people basically don't come here. Most of them are caravans and soul masters. The guards here are also experienced. When you see groups of merchants, you can go up and take some money. Generally, caravans will give a little money to keep peace, but when you see 7 or 8 people together, the guards basically let them go directly. In this case, it is basically a soul master who wants to go to the far north. The soul masters who can enter the far north are either not afraid of death or powerful. They don't want to provoke these 2 types. After entering the city smoothly, I saw a group of 11 or 12-year-old children running over. Sir, do you need a guide? I can take you around the entire Moan City for just 1 silver soul coin. Sir, I don't need a silver soul coin, just give me 50 copper soul coins. These children have been serving as guides here for a long time. They can tell at a glance that Yihan and others are coming to Moan City for the first time. Moreover, Yihan and others are dressed very luxuriously and have extraordinary looks and temperament. They are rich people. Seeing so many people coming around, Yihan was unsure for a moment, and then he looked at Lil with a burning look at the pancake in one of the little girl's hands. The little girl was obviously a little hesitant, but in the end she wiped the grease off the pancake in her hand and handed it to Lil. Do you want to eat pancakes? Here you go. Thank you. Lil was not polite either. For delicious food, Lil would never dislike it no matter what. Seeing this, Yihan sighed. pointed at the little girl and said, "It's you. You will be the guide for the next few days." The little girl who was named was stunned, and pointed at herself in disbelief. After all, she didn't say anything from the beginning, but just gave Leah a pancake. When the others saw that Yihan had already chosen someone, they immediately dispersed and looked at the city gate waiting for the next target. The reason for choosing this little girl is very simple. It is noon now, and the whole pancake has been eaten a small bite. It can be seen at a glance that it is the little girl's daily ration. Since the little girl is willing to give her own rations to Leah, Yihan naturally has to return the favor. "My name is Yihan, the one who eats your pancake is Leah, and this side is Esdeath, Yoruichi, Kurumi, Honjo Kid, Taodangawi and Jalei. My dear friend, don't say my full name, little girl, just call me Brother Taodang," Taodang said with a smile. Facing the enthusiasm of several people, the little girl was obviously a little uncomfortable. You know, she can get some god jobs usually, but those people dressed in luxurious clothes are all arrogant and look down on her. She doesn't care about this, as long as she can get the money. My name is Zuxi. Please give me more advice, adults. I will definitely be a good guide for you in the next few days, Zuxi said hurriedly. Yihan touched Zuxi's little head and said gently, "Don't be so restrained, just call us brothers and sisters, and call that uncle. No need to call adults, take us to a place where we can eat first. Price is not a problem." "Zio-han, you are too much? What is uncle? Call me brother, I like it," Jalei said shamelessly, and looked at Jalei speechlessly. Seeing that Yihan ignored him, Jalei stopped talking. These children who came out at a young age are basically orphans, or there are only old people and younger brothers and sisters left at home. Although they are all forced by life, Yihan still admires this courage. Think about it, when he was a child in his previous life, he didn't have such courage. Therefore, Yihan would not look down on these children who rely on their own efforts to support themselves. "Okay, Lord Yihan, Brother Yihan, you come with me. The most prominent place in our Moan city should be Hanayu. It not only has accommodation, but also has excellent food. However, it is mostly prepared for soul masters or nobles," Zuzai introduced very seriously. The crowd was not far from Hanayu and soon reached their destination. "Big Brother Yihan, you go in. I'll wait for you outside." Yihan rubbed Zuzai's little head. "Let's go together. What Leah ate before should be your daily meals. Today, you just need to follow us for your meals." Alia was startled and said a little embarrassedly, "Sorry. This is my first time in the far north, and I have never seen such a sesame cake." Zuzai shook her head. "It's okay, Sister Leah, I can get this job because of this sesame cake." Zuzai is not stupid, and naturally understands why she was chosen. "That won't work. Since you've eaten your sesame cake, then come in and eat with us. Don't worry, Ziahan is rich, and it doesn't matter what she gets as long as it can be bought with money," Leah said gently, holding Zuxi's little hand. Chapter 150 Being Targeted. In front of Hanayu, a group of people walked into the most luxurious hotel in Moan City. "Sir, do you want to stay or have a meal?" A waiter looked at Yihan and others in luxurious clothes, and quickly pushed away the child who was receiving them at the door, and said with a flattering smile. Yihan frowned and said coldly, 8 rooms, prepare a private room and serve all your signature dishes." "Okay." After the waiter said that, he saw Leah leading Zuxi upstairs. For a moment, he looked at Zuxi with some jealousy, and then quickly stopped in front of Yihan. "Is there anything else?" Yihan looked at the person in front of him unhappily. The waiter also felt that he was abrupt for a moment, and then looked at Zuxi beside Leah, and his head was hot. "This, sir, if it is a servant you brought, forget it. This child is a urchin in front of Moan City, and his clothes are tattered, which does not conform to Hanayu's consistent concept." Yihan looked at the waiter in front of him, and he understood why the waiter was jealous of Zuxi being able to come to Hanayu for dinner. Sometimes people's hearts are so simple, and they can't stand others doing well. Hearing this, Zuxi lowered her head with a sense of inferiority, pulled Leah's hand, and said softly, "Sister Leah, why don't you go? I'll wait for you outside." Seeing this, Leah looked at the waiter with a somewhat unfriendly look, and then looked at Yihan on the side. She believed that Yihan would not let her down. "Ziohan. Let's go." Yihan smiled faintly and walked around the waiter and went directly to the second floor. Seeing Yihan's attitude, everyone followed him. The waiter looked at Yihan, who ignored him, and for some reason, He wanted to stop him again in a fit of anger, but the next moment he found that he couldn't move. A blue light flashed in Esdeath's eyes, and the waiter was completely frozen in the middle of Hanayu. The guests around him subconsciously stepped back a few steps to prevent being accidentally injured. Let the person who can take charge of Hanayu come to see me, and I will teach him how to do business. In addition, our dishes should be served quickly. Yihan's cold voice came from the second floor. Everyone on the first floor of Hanayu stood up to pay the bill. They were all smart people. Esdeath didn't even use her martial spirit, but the waiter was frozen. They must not be able to afford to offend her. Yihan came to the private room and sat down calmly. After a while, a middle-aged man with glasses ran in with sweat on his forehead. "Sir, my name is Zhao Quan. Please forgive me if I have offended you." Zhao Quan was able to become the owner of such a big store because of his good eyesight. People who can afford to spend money at Hanayu are basically soul masters or nobles, and Hanayu doesn't want to offend these people. "Boss Zhao, your store is quite big. Don't you know that guests are guests?" Yihan asked playfully. Zhao Quan wiped his sweat and explained quickly, "Of course I know this. I don't know why the waiter went crazy today. To express my apology, I will treat you to this meal. Everyone, please eat as much as you want." Leah's eyes lit up and she looked at Zhao Quan with a much softer look. What a good man. Okay, to tell you the truth, the waiter downstairs was hunted by someone and deliberately came to cause trouble. I hope you can tell me who this waiter has recently contacted. Yihan's eyes flashed coldly. It is normal for a person to have jealousy. This is human nature, but most people will not show it. Even if they have jealousy, they usually hide it. Moreover, people who work as waiters should be more careful about their thoughts. And Yihan felt the fluctuation of soul power from this waiter. It was very rough, and he could feel it as long as he was in close contact. Obviously, someone magnified the emotions of the waiter. Yihan and others came to Moan City for the first time. He didn't believe that someone would cause trouble for them on the first day, so Zuzai was the most likely to be troubled. Although he didn't know why, but now Zuxi was his guide, Yihan wanted to see who would do such a thing to a child. Zhao Quan heard this and said quickly, Yes, I will ask the waiter right away, and then pass the information to the adults." "No, Esdeath, you go and take a look." Yihan was worried about Zhao Quan. Seeing that everyone had left, Yihan looked at Zuxi on the side and asked gently, "Xiaoxi, where is your home? Are you alone in your home?" No, my home is in a small alley in the west of the city. Although it is small, there is no wind there at night. My mother is also at home, but my mother is sick and needs a lot of money for treatment," Zuxi said with some sadness. Yihan frowned when he heard this, looked at Zuxi, and decided not to tell this innocent girl for the time being, and directly opened the guild group. "Yihan, Dongtang, Sansan, Xia Feng, you go and see Zuxi's mother. Someone is coming for Zuxi, and they might attack her family." Dongtang, understood. "Hanzhou Feng, why don't we take her mother over, how about that?" Yihan, "Sure, it's better to take her over, so that those people don't have any bad intentions." The three of them got up and left. Although Zuxi was a little confused, she still sat obediently on the chair. "Xiaoxi, did your family originally live in Moan City? Or did you move here later? Or have you had any unpleasantness with others recently?" Yihan asked tentatively. Zuxi thought for a while. "I have lived in Moan City since I was a child, and it seems that I have never had any unpleasantness with anyone. Although we are competitors, everyone still takes good care of me." From Zuxi's words, Yihan could analyze that Zuxi's social circle was very narrow. In addition to the people she usually contacts as a guide, there were only the children who were with her. However, since Zuxi said that these children were not bad and would help her, it should not be these children. Since the problem is not with Zuxi, the answer is obvious. Zuxi's mother must have something unknown. In that case, has anything strange happened recently? Yihan asked again. Probably not. Every day is the same, there is no change, but some time ago, many people came to our house from the slums in the west and south of the city. I don't know what they did, but I didn't seem to be at home at the time. I heard it from my mother and the ants nearby. I don't know if this counts, Zuxi said uncertainly. Yihan's eyes flashed. Anyone who is not a fool knows that these people are looking for Zuxi's mother or Zuxi. Zuxi was not at home at the time, and someone went to her house. That means Zuxi's mother was found out, but the person who went to check was not sure, so he didn't make a prompt decision. While Yuhan was thinking, the door opened and Zhao Quan personally served the signature dishes one by one, and said very familiarly, "My lords, these are our restaurant's signature dishes. If you don't want them, please let me know and I'll serve more." Yuhan was not polite and said directly, "These dishes are not enough for Leah to fill her stomach. Bring a few more. I'll pay for it, so don't worry about the money." No, I can still afford a meal." Zhao Quan waved his hand quickly, "I'll prepare it first. Please wait a moment, sirs." Seeing that everyone had left, Yuhan looked at Zuxi on the side and swallowed his saliva, but he didn't do anything. He thought that he wouldn't get any information from Zuxi now, so it would be better to wait for her mother to come. "Are you hungry, Xiaoxi? Now that the dishes are served, you can eat." Zuxi swallowed her saliva and shook her head. "Brother and sister, it's good that you can take me to dinner, but my brother and sister haven't come back yet. I can wait for them. I'll just eat some leftovers. If there are leftovers, I want to take some back to my mother." Leia touched Zuxi's little head with some distress. "It's okay, your brother Yihan has sent someone to pick up your mother, and you two can eat here together later, and you don't need to eat any leftovers." "Really?" Zuxi's eyes lit up, and Yihan nodded. "Eat with confidence, no need to wait for them. Xia Feng and the others will cure your mother and bring her here together." Even if Yuhan said so, Zuxi still didn't know how to start. For a child who has only eaten steamed buns or vegetable leaves since childhood, sesame cakes are already the best thing. Suddenly seeing so many unfamiliar dishes, although they exuded fragrance, she didn't know where to start for a while. Seeing this, Yuhan picked up a chicken leg and put it in Zuxi's bowl. "If you really feel bad, just eat the chicken leg first, and we will wait for your mother and brothers and sisters together." Hearing this, Zuxi picked up the chicken leg and nodded obediently. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.